Okay, take 2. I think my my stream. I don't even know if it started last time. Hello, and welcome on in, everyone. For anyone who is unfamiliar or new here, this is a writing critique group where we hang out on Twitch here, and I read people's submissions. I give 1 or 2 pieces of critique. People in chat can also give critique. They just gotta be nice about it. Let's see. Starting now. Maybe. Let's see. Let's see if everything works this time. Testing. I can refresh it. Hello. But yes, that is the bit, that is the vibe. Welcome on in to anyone who's interested in that. It works! Oh, thank goodness. Hi, Arya. Hi, Chatty Maddie. Hi, Wolfman. It's good to see you. No, so sorry. It was just a tech issue. I started the stream and then, poof, instantly everything just stopped working. I had to call in tech support from Roots. I had to call them back multiple times because when we got everything working, then VTube Studio stopped working. It was a bop over here for a second. Hello, Meeper. Hi, what? Oh, my little Mothman emote. Thank you guys so much. So, I know we had 2 people in the Discord who said they were ready for critique tonight, so we'll start with them. I have Chatty Maddie and what? I think Chatty Maddie typically stays up with us for almost the entire stream, if not always the entire stream. What? How are you looking? How's your schedule for tonight? How long do we have you here on the stream? I don't know. Huge congrats, Arya. I don't know what those words mean, besides that someone's been confirmed to be trans representation. So congrats. That's good. That's good. Yes. Yeah, you normally hear all stream, so I want to make sure what's good too. Like if what only has like half an hour, then I want to make sure I get them done first. But if they're here all stream too. Oh my god, I'm just checking in with all my raccoons. You're pretty clear? Okay, okay. Oh, the Amazing Digital Circus stuff. Okay, okay. Gooseverse is the director? Is that like just their username? I thought that would be like a company name. Okay. Interesting, interesting. Well, I guess it would go by Cryptid Roots. I mean, can I really talk anything about silly usernames to go by online? I guess I can't say shit. Hi Zoe, it's good to see you. Yes, we're all back. We're here. Oh my goodness. So, just in case, I'll go ahead and get... Oh, the first one up is what? So that's mine. There we go. There we go. The order of the pages has decided. That's right. So we'll do probably these 2 stories, and then we'll do Raccoon Channel 6 News, as long as my voice is good. Hopefully that sounds good for everybody. Let me... Oh, I closed so many of the tabs. I was so ready. And now I'm not ready. Let me go to my responses. This was from what? Let me turn on my color. There we go. It's what 16, right? I think that was it. I think that's the username. Why? Because I don't have the thingamajig up yet. Because I was ready and now I'm not ready. That's how it be sometimes. Yes, 116. This says Chapter 7 continued. Okay, okay. Let me see, there's tabs off to the left here. Chapter 7. Now, I think sometimes I've been unfair with this. I gotta move things around. Because yeah, the abandoned 811 doesn't have the best Wi-Fi. It's a little spotty sometimes. It's tech issues. I'm just a cryptid. I don't understand tech issues. Sometimes the particles in the air make the internet work. Sometimes they don't. I don't know how it works. Oh my goodness. So, what I think... One of the things that I think I'm always torn with giving you critique is that it is a first pass. So it's technically, it's the first draft, it's the rough draft. of the piece. And I'm giving you like some critiques for like doing the next edit, for doing the next passes, for further things in your writing craft and stuff to keep an eye out for, like the pacing and other things that you've worked a lot on. But then I'm also having to take a step back and I'm like, okay, but it's also the first draft. Should I just focus on bigger plot issues, bigger concept stuff instead? So sometimes I focus on more big plot things, sometimes I focus on more like writing craft stuff with you. I'm not sure if you have a preference for which ones you want me to critique more, which one's more helpful for you. What about the abandoned Mouse Kingdom Wi-Fi? Oh no, that is not abandoned at all. Don't you, that's its own thing. I don't go over there. That's scary in the apocalypse. That was really creepy. So I have this auto translation thing up. Heidenheart helped me set it up when I was listening to some other streamers in other languages. And they set it up of like, oh yeah, it's the little thing, it auto translates whatever the streamer is saying. And that's neat. And then normally whenever I'm streaming, I just click out the X button, right? I just click it off. Well, just in the middle of me saying that, as soon as I said, oh no, the Mouse King, that's its own thing, I don't go over there, the auto-translate thing popped up. It popped up on its own. It hasn't popped up until now, it popped up right then, and it said something like, let me handle it. And that was it. And I'm like, what? Listen, I cannot legally refer to any technical names over in that area for legality reasons. I'm not saying nothing. You ain't gonna trap me in this. More focusing on the plot rather than all the technical trippy little bits with writing there. Got it. We are looking at the plot. Okay. That makes sense. We got our mission, folks. We are all tuned in. My thing is working now. Did I even do my intro? I don't even know anymore. But yes, hello everyone. This is totally a normal day in a writing group. Writing little critique group. So again, normal bit here for anyone new. You guys can also give feedback and critique. You guys can ask questions for our lovely writer, which is currently what, 16? You can see them right there in the top right hand corner. But otherwise, you just gotta be nice about it. Be friendly. This is not to attack or tear anything down. This is all so we can become better storytellers together. Your brother likes to answer calls like, it's done, but there's blood everywhere. Your sound driver just put you through? What's the sound driver? Is that one of the computer thingies? Is that that? You gotta you're gonna have to dump it down a little bit for me, I'm sorry. Hi Trickster, welcome on in. Yeah, translator chose Fonse. Translator like popped up as soon as I thought I was talking about the Mouse Kingdom over here in Florida. Like, oof. Should we start from the beginning of chapter 7? Just start up here? I do remember this. Like, our main character, Ren, is critically injured, even being a Grim Warden. He's still pretty badly, banged up. And, he's trying to say he's fine, and the Eliza is saying, okay, if you're fine, stand up. Just do it. If you're fine, then be fine. Get up. Go do stuff. And he tries to, and he fucking fails, and she's like, heh, loser. Basically, lots of weird, convoluted computer issues. Oh, that's the worst type of issues. No audio. I had to reteach computer how to audio? I didn't even know that was something you could teach a computer. Oh my god. Zatara, you're one of the bravest of us all. You're one of the smartest and the biggest brain. Huge props for Zatara for tackling something I would be shaking my cryptid boots about. I'd be shaking in the corner. I'd be like, no. To when he recovered? Yeah. Okay. So let's see. So that happened. I'll start here. Let's see. So Ren's information proved to be advantageous to Ironhelm. After 3 weeks, Eliza and her army were able to gain a foothold in the Vampirian advance. They were no longer defending their lands. They were pushing their invaders out. I'm not that smart. I only did it because my tech buddy wasn't free to help. This was about as sexy as filing taxes. I don't know about you guys. If I had someone brave enough to do all the taxes for me, that would be the sexiest thing imaginable. Oh my god. I need to, when I find my goddamn life partner, they better be willing to do all the fucking taxes. They better be at least decent at math. Please, please. My perfect ideal dream life partner better be good at math. I don't wanna. I'll even trade off. I'll make all the horrible anxiety fueling things equal in the house. You know, we'll be an equal house, so we'll both be pulling our weight. If they do the once a year, I can do my quarterly business taxes. That's not too scary anymore. But if they do the once a year actual like taxes, I'll handle the day-to-day phone calls. I'll do it. I'm willing to put. That's my equivalent exchange. I will handle phone calls as long as they do the big scary taxes. That's gonna be my offer. And then as soon as we're wed, that will be like, no, this is a legally binding contract. If you can't uphold your end, I want a divorce. Can you believe there's people who answer phone calls and they're not even nervous about it? Fucking crazy. Doesn't even give them anxiety. Wild. They file their taxes and they're not even nervous about it. They're just confident in what they're doing. I double check every single thing for taxes. Like suddenly I'm like looking at my own name like, what if that's not really my name? What if I've been spelling it wrong my entire life? What if it's misspelled on my fucking birth certificate? What if the police are gonna knock down my door right now and like throw me in jail because I was secretly put in my name wrong on my taxes this whole time? Oh no! Wolfman, you had to go ask Zatora for help. Zatora knows all the stuff. Oh, you learned how to repair corrupted files? That sounds handy. That sounds neat. Let's see, they were pushing their invaders out. Winter in the south was finally starting to set in. Before any snowfall, Ironhelm desperately needed to take Ramsbold Keep. It held strategic value in their advance, as it would cut off any supply line that Cassian had coming in from land. The men inside the keep were holding their own during every attempt to get over the wall. After her third failed attempt, Eliza had no choice but to send for her human battering ram. You built your own computer? That's fancy. So it figured out to some digging, but it was super frustrating when it happened, when the audio thing was outdated mid-audio clip. I'll be honest, I would fucking lose it. Technology not stopping working is honestly one of my biggest like anxiety things. I'm like, I don't know how to fix this. This is wonky. If I try to fix it and I get it wrong, I might break it more. It's expensive. I can't just go out to the store and get a new one because like then my bank account will cry at me. It's scary when technology stuff stops working. I think everyone who deals with that is very brave. Papa Cryptid is actually really smart. He deals with technology a lot. That's one of his jobs. He does tech support typey stuff. IT type stuff. So he's always really smart with that stuff. Your great grandmother's last name is spelled wrong on her birth certificate. Because of the midwife who added an extra fucking letter to it. Oh man, that's fucked up. That's so fucked up. That would be like that's when like you have to quit being a midwife. Like when you realize you fucked up that badly and it's gonna like carry over in someone's life for the rest of their life. You gotta be like, alright, maybe I'm not cut up for this. You just gotta quit. did you fuck up that bad? Not you, I'm talking about this midwife for your poor grandma. That's literally hilarious. Oh no. You changed someone's life from the midwife. Like, oh, you changed it for the worse. Oh no, poor Wolfman. Yeah, that's a sign. That's a sign. Something's up. For me, the only reason I even know something like was going on with the stream when I first tried to start the stream was because it pulls up. There's a pop-up. There's a pop-up that pulls up that says OBS is trying to reconnect or something like that. And if it's trying to reconnect, that means it disconnected. So then I'm just like in horror looking at that corner of the screen like. What's wrong? So Eliza had no choice but to send for her human battering ram. For 3 long days, Ren and whatever reinforcements he could scrape together marched tirelessly to Eliza's aid. They arrived at the small logging camp they had set up to build ladders. "You've seen better days, Grim Warden," Eliza said. "That priest is a terrible physician," Ren said, getting off his horse. "He was trained by your ilk at the Grand Library," she said, holding back her laugh. "You like to bug me with the failures of the Moorwitch clan Baroness?" Ren asked. "Now why would I do that, Grim Warden?" Eliza said smugly as she roughly patted his injured side. "Sir Edmund has been fighting further up north, but the Talak mercenaries have been holding him at bay." So this part should be part of this paragraph, because it's all just one paragraph of Eliza talking. Then this is Ren. "What about the keep? How do you plan to get inside?" Ren asked. "I need you to be a distraction, so we'll face less resistance when we scale the wall," Eliza said. "Distraction? I led against the shield wall in the ambush on Lycos." "You ran in a straight line. That's not leadership, Grim Warden. If you want leadership, then you can lead the battering ram. We'll take the keep tomorrow. In the meantime, our archers will soften them up," Eliza explained to Ren. So with this is the first 2 pages of Chapter 7. So Chapter 7 starts with the scene of Ren being injured, and Eliza has that like really fun character interaction. Like, okay, you say you're good, get up. And then he like buckles, and she's like, "See, I fucking told you. Go rest." It's really, really fun. Then we have a lot of telling rather than showing for a lot of stuff with the other factions that we're dealing with, other things in the war. It's over 3 weeks, and then it's 3 more days. We actually have multiple time skips just in here and a few paragraphs, and then we start all that time later over. I'm probably assuming now we're getting close to like over a month later here with Ren and Eliza meeting again. So this is several time skips in the first 2 pages of a chapter. Normally a chapter we kind of want to be not in the same scene, but in scenes that make sense together. There's so much time skips here, it doesn't really quite make sense that they're all here together back to back. Normally a chapter might even start with the little bit of details, like it's 3 weeks later and Ren was on his way to Eliza. He had the scraps of men he had gathered, and he saw her encampment, and he goes up to her, and then this is their interaction. But right now, in its current state, these scenes don't quite make sense together in the chapter. Let's see. As night fell, the archers adorned their arrows with cloth and oil, sending a hail of fire and brimstone with each volley, keeping the enemy soldiers awake as they scrambled to fight the fires. The first phase of Eliza's plan was fully underway. As the sun slowly rose from its eternal slumber, that metaphor doesn't quite work. Eliza and her men gathered within the tree line, waiting for their moment to strike. So it had updated system files. So it's just like, well, that was through Microsoft. Oh, was it a Microsoft issue? The men pounded on their shields while they marched with the battering ram. Their battle cry echoed throughout the valley, making the small force of 30 seem like a mighty force of 300. Hi, white boy, welcome on in. The guards scrambled, ringing the alarm bell, colliding into each other while trying to get into their defensive positions. So again, I think we had this thing too of sometimes the changing third-person tense or point of view. There we go. That's the more correct word. Sometimes it's very, very close third person with Ren. We're getting everything from Ren's, and then it switches, to other point of view. Sometimes it's his uncle or his aunts, right? It's very close third person to them. But the point is, it's close third person normally, regardless of which character we're currently following. And then other times like this, it suddenly goes to a more omniscient third person, seeing and showing details that none of the main point of view characters should really be able to see or know. And it's normally a lot of times when you go into the more telling sides too. Yeah, it's a big struggle sometimes with the tenses. I even noticed it with did I notice it with this one? No, I think I had conflicting details with this one mostly. I was gonna say, I think there's another piece I have from before where I'm like, I was struggling with the different types of third person, close versus more omniscient. But it's 100%, it's a very common issue, especially with third person. Sometimes people, as long as it is a type of third person, people sometimes switch back and forth between them when really you want to pick one. Because yeah, that shift in it's a little wonky to read. Oh, I hit this wrong one. There we go. So yeah, that's what I'm noticing here. And one of the biggest times when I can point it out specifically with you is when there's that more broad lore info, the telling versus the showing. Like that's one of the main times when you switch to omniscient third person rather than a close third person. So it's like everyone's fighting for the camera. That's why I know even I do it, right? Sometimes we do use the analogy with writing and in storytelling of like, oh yeah, even though we're writing, think of it like a movie lens. What's the camera lens focused on? How is this viewing in a movie? A lot of people write like it's a movie, but technically they are different mediums and they have different rules, and stuff that works for movies and shows does not always work for writing and vice versa, right? You have to change things because they're just different formats. They're different mediums. They're literally entirely different. Well, one's words and one's visual. They can just do different things that the other one's not capable of. So sometimes with camera lenses, you can change the camera. You can show the audience with the camera lens like stuff that the main characters aren't seeing. You can do it in writing as long as it's consistently omniscient point of view. You're streaming for Aaron's streak. Oh, that's funny. Let's see, but yeah, so I think that's one of the biggest trip ups. I think when we are younger and we're first learning about point of view and the types of point of view, a lot of teachers first describe it as like it's that camera lens, and I honestly think that's one of the biggest things that then makes third person really, really tricky. Let's see. Ringing the alarm bell, colliding into each other while trying to get into their defensive positions. Hold, Ren yelled. A surge of arrows hit the keep. As one man fell, another replaced him on the wall. Onwards, Ren yelled as they continued the march to the keep's large gates. The light rain of arrows hit the ram's cover. Ren tightened his grip on the handle. Heave, Ren yelled, pulling the handle back with all his might. Ho, he commanded. The ram slammed into the gate, rattling the bones of the man operating it. Heave, he yelled. Thud, 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 up. Like even here, like now we are in Ren's point of view. But this is just telling us, like, oh yeah, it rattles the bones of the men operating it. It could be Ren looks around, like he feels his own bones rattle. Like it is his first time using a fucking battering ram during a war thing, right? Like that's a new experience for him. He would feel his own bones rattling using this massive battering to try and break down this keep door. And then he could even look around and see the other men beside him readjust and kind of look like, oh god, like they felt it too. Like they felt the way that everything felt that impact. It was such a strong blow. That would then be putting it in Ren's point of view. We're seeing all those facts of the surroundings through Ren's eyes. This is just telling us things without confirming that Ren would know. This is just telling it as fact when Ren doesn't really know it as fact. Thud, thud, thud. Ugh. The soldier in front of Ren was struck in the shoulder by an arrow that made it through a gap. The man gritted his teeth as he continued to pull back. Oh! The ram slammed into the gate, breaking some of the wood off of the gate. The gate and the gates repeated. Hi, Superstar, welcome on in. The soldier in the front fell to his knees as the recoil ripped through his body. Are you okay, soldier? Ren asked. The man paused. Aye, sir, I'm fine, he yelled back. I think he'd be fucking stepped on. He'd be crushed. He'd be gonzo. I see. Oh, thank you for the bits. That's very nice of you. The man slowly pulled himself up and got back into position. Heave, Ren yelled. Ho! The gate splintered as a hole formed where it had previously chipped. Pull the ram back, Eliza commanded. Eliza and her men had successfully taken the ramparts. Ramparts? It's close enough. Your birthday's tomorrow? Oh, that's super exciting, Superstar. That's fantastic. Are you excited? Do you have anything fun planned? Pushing the Vampirian soldiers back to the central wall. As the gate slowly pulled open, the first flurries of the season were beginning to come down. The rest of Eliza's forces charged through the gate towards the central wall. You're gonna see a play? Oh, that sounds so nice and fancy. What a fun day out. I think that'll be really great. The soldiers tried closing the gate to the central wall, but they were too late as a few of the Iron Helm soldiers made it inside. Yes, sometimes also it's a little conflicted between the soldiers, meaning the enemy soldiers. Sometimes you would clarify it's the Vampirian soldiers, and then the other soldiers are us, the Iron Helm soldiers. Yeah, happy early birthday. That's exciting. So I can get some more theater, but I never do. But at least you're going tomorrow. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Just slowly getting it a little bit more into your life. That would be really fun. Is it a particular play you've already know and love, or are you seeing something you've never seen before? While two of them opened the gate back up, the rest defended them from any soldier brave enough to step up. Stop! We surrender! Men, put your swords down! The Vampirian commander yelled as he threw his sword into the dirt. His men followed in suit. Shouldn't be his men followed suit? Is it in suit? I don't know. Throwing their weapons down. Another victory for Ironhelm, one of the soldiers yelled. I see a lot of the time it's just the soldiers, and we're not quite sure which soldier it is. The men from Ironhelm cheered and collected the weapons from the ground. Ren grabbed the commander and guided him inside of the hall behind Eliza. You and your men won't be released back anytime soon. If you ever want to see your families or your homelands again, you'd best do well in the cell. Commander, there are worse fates than death, Eliza said. The man began to laugh with his head down. Young lass, I do not fear death. I pray for the day that Zala takes me, that it shall be peaceful. I have earned her warm embrace in this life. I look forward to sitting amongst my forefathers and drinking in our glory. Drinking in our glory or drinking to our glory? I'm not quite sure. Your threats might terrify the boys outside, but this old dog sees you for who you are, the commander said with a slight grin. What do you see, old man? A girl who shouldn't be in war, or the strategist that took this keep back? Eliza said. Yeah, it's really exciting. I hope you really enjoy the play on your birthday. Sometimes it's, even when things kind of go wrong in a play, it's actually kind of sometimes really fun to see, because then you're kind of seeing this once in a lifetime, little silly things that happen when you're seeing things live. You know, sometimes things go wrong. So sometimes you get to see, some funny little on the on the spot had little thing to cover for whatever's going on. There's also just stories of that some people will tell it to you. Like there was somebody said that when they were doing a play rendition, there was like some important prop. I forget if it was a ring or a rose or what, and they were supposed to go out and like kneel and like hold the prop out to the person. It was this big important scene, but the person, when they were changing out costumes, forgot to grab the prop. So when they kneeled and they held up, there was just nothing in there. There was no prop. And so then the main characters that on the stage had to just scramble and add in this extra scene of that side character being like, where's the prop? Oh god, and then like scramble off looking for it, and then another character coming in saying the lines that the first character should have said while they were kneeling down and doing it. So then that actor was great because they actually memorized someone else's lines and they were able to recite them on the spot. Right, it's really, really funny. Sometimes you'll see like little peeks behind the curtain like that of them scrambling to cover for a little oopsie. I know sometimes people get really upset by that, but I think it's like so funny. That's like, it's like a once in a lifetime thing to see that particular version of it. It's really funny. I see a warrior too eager to prove herself. You two are mere pups in a world of demons and deceivers, the commander said. Have you ever heard of The Play Goes Wrong? I don't think so. What's that? See, actors, you're supposed to memorize the entire script. Yeah, for that particular thing, that came in clutch. That came in so clutch that he happened to know the other person's lines, so that way he was able to like go and pretend and find the prop, come out, and then do the lines for the main person to then take the prop and continue with the scene. Beetlejuice comes on stage, forgets the wig. Oh no. I would honestly love to see the Beetlejuice musical. That would be like one of my favorite like things to actually go and see. That one would be fantastic. I still haven't seen the Beetlejuice 2 movie. I really want to, but when it came out, I just didn't have the money to go see it in theater, and then I think it's just been out of my mind since then. I really want, because I've seen so much Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is like one of my favorite things. I watched the movie when I was younger. I watched the cartoon. Do you guys fucking remember the cartoon Beetlejuice? The TV show? Very fucking different personality compared to movie Beetlejuice. Yes, right? And then everyone, this kind of the joke, right? The musical Beetlejuice interpretation is kind of in between, personality-wise, the movie and the TV show Beetlejuice. You love the cartoon Beetlejuice, yeah! Still can't get over Alex Brightman. I can't watch the Beetlejuice musical without going, it's Fizz! Or hearing Fizz and going, it's Beetlejuice! The Play Goes Wrong is a play, and the premises. They're performing a totally normal play, but everything goes wrong, like in the background. It's really, really funny, but everything that goes wrong is part of the play, like it's scripted. Like you'll have the part where the scene collapses. There's always an actor getting sick, so they had to pull in a PA. It's just you can't say his name 3 times in a row. If you say other things in between it, you're fine. What happened? So let's see. I guess. Grim Warden, escort the commander and his men to the cells, Eliza said. Ren pushed the man back outside, causing him to stumble and fall. The sight of their commander falling took whatever fight the men had left in them. Hold your heads high. You all fought bravely today, the commander yelled. That night, Ren found himself in the Great Hall.
Uncrypted.
Oh, yeah?
This talking snake told me he could get me a pineapple pizza if I said his name 3 times. Wanna hear it? It's Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
How fucking dare you. Oh. Look what you did, Kunst. Look what you did. Now Baby Raccoon's gone. Look what you did. Much hell have been out about going. Oh my goodness. Here, I'll bring him back. I'm more powerful than any demon. I got this. No, 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 hold on. There we go. I got it. So even then, we have another scene now. This is a flash forward. It's now at the end of the day. So they got this keep in, like, 2 hours. That's not bad. Good. Yeah, he's back. You ever watched Community? But they didn't joke. Where throughout the show they mentioned Beetlejuice, and on the third time an extra with a Beetlejuice costume walks by. Oh, that's cute. I like when they do silly stuff like that. That's neat. I'll bring him back. The fridge appears. Listen, I got a lot of stuff I can bring back. Okay, I got a lot of powers here. The organization is terrible. Okay, even though I'm all powerful, I still have ADHD. Like, it's literally raccoon and baby raccoon, and then baby raccoon. That's all I see, but it's baby raccoon's fridge. So whenever I click on baby raccoon, it's the fridge. And then if I just click on raccoon, that's baby raccoon. And if I click on Ravage, that's the text. Because I didn't know. You should just type
Decrypted. I was in a desert, surrounded by dunes.
Oh, yeah.
And a big hungry worm was heading towards me.
Yeah, that was a
I bet he
sandworm.
smelled pineapple pizza on my breath. I had a slice for him saved in my pocket.
In me pocket? Are you British now? Baby raccoon, are you proud of being British? In your pocket? That was funny. You guys are the ones distracting me. Shut up. I mean, what I was saying is there's another time skip here, too. In the Great Hall celebrating with the men, their drunken song filled the room. Ren sipped on his ale, laughing to himself as he watched the wounded man dance upon a table. Sir Commander Eliza. So that's why I think there should be some commas here. Sir, Commander Eliza requests your presence, a knight said. Fuck me, it's cold, Ren thought to himself as he exited the hall. The cold in the south was a lot different from the cold that Ren was used to. They didn't get much snow, but the air was just as frigid. Eliza had taken up residence within the commander's quarters that were in the main hall. Luckily, it wasn't that far of a walk. The Brits dropped their T's for everything except tea. Do I get a gun? And then for the Northeast in the US, it's a lot of the R's are dropped. So that's why instead of water, it's wada. And a lot of the R's are changed to Oz. So that's one of the things. So it's definitely like you can just look at particular areas and kind of be like, oh yeah, that's kind of one of the traits of an accent here. This is like some of the general things they do. That's kind of how you make the accent work. How would you describe the Australian accent? I know like one of the tricks, if you say, what is it, rise up lights, and you say it really fast, rise up lights, it sounds like razor blades in an Australian accent, but I still don't know how to classify, like, what's the actual, the bit for an Australian accent? It's rise up lights? I don't. You guys are watching Toy Story? That sounds cute. Nice bonding time. Hang out with your cute little pet. Ren entered the main hall, and to his surprise, it was empty. Didn't even look like she had made the hall into her own personal mess of maps and scouting notes yet. Grim Warden, I'm glad you're here, Liza said, coming down the stairs. You did summon for me, Baroness, Ren said. I wish to spar with you in the ways of a Grim Warden, Eliza eagerly replied. Ren slightly tilted his head. In the way of Warden? That sounds funny. Baroness, I think you're mistaken. There's nothing different about the way we spar. Then how did your body become so scarred? Eliza asked. My master preferred for us to train using real weapons, and my sister wasn't one to hold back against her little brother, Ren said. Well, I wish to spar the way your master preferred, Eliza said with a smirk. No, Ren said firmly. Hi, baby. Why are you clawing at the chair when I'm in it? Do you see the issue? Do you see how that's a little rude? Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm having a fight with people on threads about this in the World Cup. What do you think I'm referring to? I have no idea. Let's see. No, Ren said firmly. Eliza slowly drew her sword as Ren turned away. She slashed at his cheek. Ren turned around, grabbing Eliza's wrist, taking a scrape in the process. He let out a loud sigh. If you were going to catch me off guard, you shouldn't have drawn your sword, Ren said, disarming her. And I wish she hadn't. I wish she had, like, attempted to slash at his cheek, because the fact that she got his cheek kind of destroys the idea that he already was expecting it, and that he's proficient enough to do all the crazy stuff that he does as a Grim Warden. If somebody who is not seriously trained, she's just this young princessy baroness type character, can just like draw her blade and fucking like get him in the face to taunt him, right? That's a little, I don't know about that. Ren said, disarming her. Eliza smirked before she kicked the back of Ren's leg, causing him to fall. She quickly pulled a dagger from her boot. Eliza mounted Ren, putting the dagger at his throat. I win, Eliza said, smiling. Clever, this is supposed to be clever, clever of you to take my feet from underneath me. But it is a draw, Baroness, Ren said, holding a push dagger at her side. When did you? Eliza asked. You're not the only one that hides blades on them. Now get off me, Ren said. Eliza leaned in to whisper in Ren's ear. You could have thrown me off a while ago, Warden. Ren quickly rolled Eliza off of him. She lay there laughing at how flustered he had become. Good night, Baroness, Ren said, walking past her and out of the door. The next morning, Ren sat in the window. Oh, we have another time skip. Oh my god. What do you think the World Cup refers to? Like the sport thing, the World Cup, right? But I don't know what fucking thing you're fighting about with it. I don't know sports things. The next morning, Ren sat in the window of his room, staring at the valley as he wrote a letter back home. Dear Mom, I'm sorry that I must break my promise. The winter has halted the war, but it will soon be over. Winter has halted the war. So I'm assuming you mean the winter. The winter will soon be over. But here it could be a little confusing. Do you mean the war will soon be over or the winter soon be over? I would make that a little bit more clear. It was all he managed to write before a knock interrupted him. Come in, Ren said. Oh, we're almost done actually with chapter 7. Oh, I was gonna be like, oh, we should cut off soon because I don't want to get too many pages in. But no, we're actually almost done. Let's finish it up. Come in, Ren said. Sir, you need immediately. There's been an incident in the cells, a soldier said. Ren threw the letter and rushed out of his room and out of the main hall. 2 of the prisoners were tied to a post and were severely beaten. They were in the main hall, okay. What happened? Ren said to their guard. They killed their commander in his sleep and were going to be beaten to death by the other prisoners before we stepped in, the guard said. Hans Frasavrakari, one prisoner said before spitting out blood. Has the commander given them a punishment yet? Ren asked. No, sir, she hasn't, the guard answered. Splash them with water every couple of hours until the commander tells you to stop or they die, Ren instructed. He surrendered to save their lives, and that's how they honor him, Ren thought to himself. And I don't know... Well, no, this is the end of the chapter, because we have other chapters here on the side. We have other chapters here on the side. It goes way past this. So that's the end of the chapter. I think... I'm not sure this chapter knows what it wants to be about. It's coming just a lot of scenes, and then I just feel like it just randomly decided to end. I feel like this chapter is just trying to randomly include scenes. I don't think you have a clear idea of what scenes should be included in a chapter. Hold on. Thank you. Right, that should be awesome. People are roasting me on threads for saying people understand what the World Cup is. You don't have to specify it's the FIFA World Cup. Yeah. I mean, that's the one that's like happening right now. I think there's probably like other World Cups for other things, but they're not going on right now. There's context clues. There's context clues. Like if it was like the clown tomfoolery World Cup, and that was happening 2 months from now, and everyone was talking about which clown was in the lead and which one was the best at juggling in the World Cup. If you want to know, like, oh yeah, you're talking about the clown World Cup of tomfoolery, like context clues. You get it. Listen, I don't know how to break this to you, superstar. People are dumb. There's some fucking thing on Threads. I shouldn't be on Threads, but I'm trying to be better at social media. There's some fucking thing on Threads where someone was like roasting and telling authors to use not higher vocabulary words in their writing for like adult books, for books for people who, for upper reading levels. And the word she was talking about was scrying, like a scrying mirror, like for magic-y stuff, like looking into a mirror and scrying the future. And she was saying that was too high vocabulary for an adult book. She was like an adult woman who had never heard that word. She had to look up what it meant, and can authors please use like easier vocab? And everyone's like, bitch, shut the fuck up. So thank God the internet rallied and told that woman to shut the fuck up. But please understand, the more you're on the internet, the more you hear stupid things. You just hear stupid things. It's hard. Again, Papa Cryptid, he works in IT. He works professionally as like for a big company as tech support, as IT support, troubleshooting things that other tech support people cannot troubleshoot. So many problems are just stupid shit. It's horrible. Yeah, it's terrible. I personally know the person who made that comment. She used to stream on Twitch a lot. The person about the scrying mirror, or the person that you were talking about, the FIFA World Cup thing? It's a different event from another event that isn't happening right now. Right? You're proud to not use Threads? I'm like trying. Again, it's all business accounts. I just post on there for the business. I think the only one that I'm actually like genuine and I enjoy, I actually said this multiple times, the only social media I actually enjoy and that doesn't make me instantly hate myself after I'm on it for like more than 2 minutes is still Tumblr. I actually really like Tumblr. Everyone, go check out Cryptid Roots on Tumblr. There's one shameless plug-in. Oh, the scrying one. Yeah. I'm saying, if you use vocab, it's ableist, and everyone's like, the fuck are you talking about? So weird to me. Like, they graduated, right? Oh my god. Yeah, the more fucking stupid drama I see on the internet, the more my brain hurts. The more my brain hurts. And everyone was even pointing out, like, what do you mean? Like, scrying's not even, like, that hard of a vocab word. You can learn that in middle school. You're fine. You're fine. It's like I see all the time. Yeah, Facebook is whew. And I know there's kind of like the demographics for different social media sites. Facebook has a pretty toxic one that's older. It's skewing towards that. Twitter's known as really toxic. No, there are certain ones. I've still stayed pretty okay on Threads, but I'm also so tiny on Threads. I'm not really on Threads much, so I've stayed on a pretty okay side of Threads. I stayed on a pretty good side of Instagram. I just don't like doom scrolling for too long. No, Tumblr's the only one I actually like, though. Like, when I log on to Tumblr, what am I gonna see? I'm gonna see cool fan art. I'm gonna see cool people showing crafts. I follow, like, other knitters and quilters on there, so I see, like, cool quilt patterns from other fans and fandom nerdy stuff. Sometimes I'll see cool little social media, like, yeah, we should give housing to homeless people, then they won't be homeless anymore. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And that's, like, nice. And it gives me a little bright spot of my day. I genuinely... the only one that doesn't make me hate myself afterwards is Tumblr. It's crazy. I'm there, followers there because of my Instagram, and I'm like, I guess I want to use it. With them. Yeah, you're an ally. Yeah. It's the same people who say we should just write dialogue. Oh my fucking god. It's filled with funny stuff. But just the other day I came across a video of a guy being a Prince impersonator singing Purple Rain at a funeral. Ooh. Was it good? Like, did they ask him to be there? Or was he like, not supposed to be there? Wait. Funeral's a little touchy sometimes. As long as they wanted you there, then you're fine. The books on the internet would be much happier just reading like comics and graphic novels and manga. Yeah. But the only problem with it is for those people, they would feel, and I'm not saying this is true, they would feel, because they made it so much of the thing of their, if in your head you have a mental superiority complex and you make things better than other things, there are things that are superior and things that are lesser than, and you make reading books is superior than reading like kids stuff like comics and manga. I'm not saying this, by the way, I'm saying like from their mind point, they feel superior and better that they're book readers, that they're book lovers, that they're book girlies, that they're whatever label they made up, even if they can't keep up with the demands of constantly doing that. So they want it more simplified. Just give me dialogue, just let me skim the page, just let me read the back thing, so that way I seem smart and I seem better and I can do and be all this smartness and all this betterness without actually putting in the effort and the time required to read all that. But I don't think they would ever actually move over to comics and manga and stuff, even though those are great mediums and they have such fantastic things. Because they were like, no, that's the baby stuff. I'm not a baby. I'm this cool person who reads books. I just need the books babyfied, right? That's kind of their mentality. That's a wild story. Look at what you're saying. It's kind of, and that's 100% what they would think. Yeah, that's one of the things. Like, you can get like, oh yeah, if you just want to read dialogue, here's the thing that only mostly 99% has dialogue. It's a lot of cool comics, and there's some really fucking fantastic ones that will like blow your mind, and the artwork's gorgeous. It's made by all these talented people. It's a really cool medium that can do fun things that no other medium can do. It's great, and they'll just turn their nose up at it and go, ew. It's a high dialogue meme that they can read with pictures in it, with all the cool stuff. You know those kind of book talkers that always like showing stuff like, oh, look at the artwork in my book. Look at the gold foil edge. Look at the cover art. Look at this. It's like, guess what? It's like that the whole time. It's so much artwork. Oh. Books babyfied. Need to get a book called Books for Dummies. Oh my goodness. And it's like a medium with a lot of art and mostly focusing on written dialogue. I can't think of any. Some of them are even like, no, but what if I get bored? I wish there was more like the jingling keys thing to hold their attention. Like, it's too boring. And it's like, there's even this cool thing called visual novels. Sometimes they have sound cues, sometimes there's little animations. You have to keep clicking on stuff. That's a visual novel. Guess what? There's always something for you. And then they'll be like, ew, no, I still want it to be a book. And you're like, baby, there's only so much. How can you read this? There's no pictures. Something like a stunned voice. Oh my god. You can't put a visual novel on a shelf and take a picture in front of the shelf. That's true, and a lot of those type of people just like to brag. They just like to show off and put their face up in there and make it seem like they're so cool, they're so smart, they're so amazing and perfect for having done this thing and read this thing. But you're right, a visual novel, they can't do that. That's a good point. Visual novels rule, and so do really dense books. I always want a book to be not too dense or too thin. It has to be whatever amount needed to tell that story. I've read very, very short, high impact, funny, full of humor and voice and all that stuff. Great short stories. I've read very, very fucking dense books and have been focused the entire time. As long as I think putting in unnecessary stuff for your book doesn't help. But other books, they absolutely need all that. That works with the tone and the world building and the story they're trying to convey. It just matters on what that story and that writer needs. Yeah, have you heard about Gotham's crime-fighting cryptid? The bat and its hatchling. Oh boy, wait till you really get into all the different stuff in Gotham. There's a, the Bat family is very wide and extended. That is a whole, that's a whole family. You might even need, some conspiracy board, like little red strings and stuff to keep track of everyone in the Bat family. I see it. But, let me see. What I was giving a critique here. We finished chapter 7. Thank you so much, What. So I think my first critique of it is I'm not sure the format of chapter worked for chapter 7. I feel like this was actually a lot of very fast-paced, multiple different sections that could have each been their own chapter if they were expanded on. But instead we just had all these scenes kind of cut short. The pacing was very fast and just smushed together, and then just arbitrarily said, oh, this is a chapter. I don't really feel like this was a full, concise chapter. So that was one of the first things that I was like, oh, okay, this doesn't really make sense. The other thing is a lot of time skips. And we have this really impactful dialogue, or there's this really big attempt at this impactful dialogue of this enemy commander calling out Eliza and calling Eliza and Ren like just babies in the war and all this stuff. And he's just this first time NPC we've been introduced to, and now he's already dead in the same chapter he's introduced to, so I don't know if this was that impactful of a character to really give this big monumental thing in lines 2. This seems like if this is supposed to be the thing of like, oh yeah, like you guys aren't ready for the war, like you guys aren't really ready for this, that maybe could have gone to the earlier person they fought that hurt Ren a lot before Ren ended up killing him and giving that information to Eliza. It seems a little off here. I'm not sure how much this is serving the plot to make this other random guy commander be the one to reveal it's like, you guys are just babies, you don't understand, when he's like kind of acting like a sore loser because he just lost his keep in like 2 hours after Ren showed up. And then after all this, neither Ren or Eliza are tired. They're having their flirty scene, which is, it's a little cute. I kind of wish we had a little bit more build up with them. We can kind of already tell there were some cute moments with Eliza and Ren before. We were starting to like Eliza a lot. She was getting personality. And then, like, we're gone for a while, we meet her again, and then it's just like, oh, Eliza just fucking thirsty. Eliza just fucking going for it. She's gonna have a wild night. She's gonna shoot her shot. And I kind of wish instead it was more genuine and we were building up Eliza a bit more, and that way when we do have the flirtation, because I know Eliza and Ren are kind of endgame, then when it happens later on, we like Eliza more. Eliza is a more established character. Then we're rooting for that scene. We're like, yeah, Ren and Eliza are gonna get together. But here I'm just like, oh, okay, Eliza's starting to be really cool. She's starting to have a little personality. Oh, homegirl's thirsty. Okay. Right, I think it's not quite right yet to have Eliza be jumping Ren's bones. We then have the stuff here with the next day. And yeah, I think that the pacing's off again. We did rush through some of the chapter. Hey, it happens. And again, it's always kind of that bit of, it's a first draft, and that's kind of normal for a first draft to just kind of be rushing through it. Honestly, for a first draft, you could even have an outline on the side, right? That's even more rushed because it's just the outline, it's just the bullet points of what you need done on the side. And that's why so I wonder even if we could have like just bullet points to get the scene done, and then you can look at your bullet points and be like, okay, here's a scene, here's a chapter. Shooting your shot, you said. Stares at later chapter. Yeah, I think later on in a later chapter, once she's a stronger character, she's had more interactions with Ren, then I think it would make complete sense for a character to be like, yeah, I'm gonna shoot my shot. I'm gonna get a little flirty. I'm gonna do a fun little fight sequence here where I'm just like on top of him, right? She's shooting her shot. She's being a little flirty. She ain't being subtle. I think that's fine in a few more chapters after we've really established her character more. What happened here? Wait, what? Wait. If you're making the Bat family sound like Gotham's in Alabama. Oh, it's almost worse. It's in New Jersey. People in New Jersey, they're gonna start coming for me. I gotta hide. I gotta hide. Baby raccoon, hide me. I'm shooting shots and I ain't bulletproof. Oh no. People always wonder if the butts match. Let's see. It's actually, it was like a goat home. I was originally like, I mean, that is what I read. It was an insult for the city. Wait, what? Really? Gotham was originally goat home? I thought it was just a play on the words that they wanted to make it gothic. So instead it's, but it's kind of like a hamlet, so it's Gotham. Huh. So the next couple of chapters you're gonna have to censor some things. All good. Even in my story, Fee and Barry might be old friends now, but I'm being slow with the romance. Yeah. Being very intentional with where do you want those moments to be. New Jersey? Oh, hell nah. I was there once and never going back. That's New Jersey. Yeah. I'm like 90% sure. Gotham is set in New Jersey, right? Gotham City is in New Jersey. Gotham City is in New Jersey. Yeah. Oh no, a location on the Jersey Shore is described as 20 miles north of Gotham. Okay. New Jersey. Oh wait, that wasn't too bad of that. That was just from that, like, that's where I typed it in and I just went for it. I'm like, that actually wasn't too bad. That was passing. That was passing. Not passing with an A, but A C is still passing. We passed your crossover with Batman. Yeah, people were that's why the big joke is the Bruce Wayne persona, Brucey Wayne. Like, he's very much like that silly billionaire playboy. Why can he always pull that off? Because he's in New Jersey. He's basically like the Kardashians. He's the equivalent of being like a Kardashian in Gotham. He's just famous for being famous and for being rich and for being the silly person that you like taking a peek into that that's silly Brucey Wayne. Yeah, nobody would take a New Jersey billionaire seriously. You can't see Batman fighting crime in New Jersey. I don't know how to tell you this. That's where Gotham is. That's where it be. I honestly, when I was younger, I always thought Gotham was more like New York, because so many superhero stuff is in New York. Like Spider-Man, that's all New York stuff, right? Check this. Supposedly Metropolis is Delaware. That's believable. That's believable. Yeah, because it's the big city next to where Clark Kent grew up, and Clark Kent was growing up out there in a farm. He was a farm boy. Wasn't it? I thought he was always more of a Kansas or Kentucky. Clark Kent grew up in what state? He grew up in Smallville, Kansas. Oh, Metropolis is so far away then. Let's see, he's just like hearing gunshots from across the river and he's like, getting back, gonna be a drag, better not. Like Chicago. But then Nightwing eventually picked up and moved to actual Chicago. And then you're like, wait a second, how can Nightwing move to Chicago? We're already in Chicago. And then you learned and you're like, oh shit. Let's see. So yeah, Clark Kent grew up in Kansas, but you're saying Metropolis. City is based in what state? Located in Delaware. Oh no, in the older comics and shows, like Smallville was placed in Kansas. Okay, so a lot of times it's placed in Kansas, but now, yes, it's in Delaware. Okay, so at least I wasn't totally crazy. I'm like, like I remember in some things, it was like just the biggest city next to where he grew up. So yeah, in some of the older comics and stuff, and in Smallville, which was the live action TV show, he's still in Kansas. He's a Kansas superhero. It's just Metropolis is the biggest city next to where he grew up in Smallville. But now I guess it's different. I guess now he actually moved states for the job. Just generally on the East Coast. I'm growing up on the East Coast, that's my impression. Ooh. Yeah, I grew up, I think I stayed up on the East Coast my entire... I was born a Massachusetts baby cryptid. And then when I was, just when, like, Roots was a baby. Like, Roots was a baby. I'm not even sure if they were 1 year old yet. They were a baby, and we came down, and now, I've been a Florida cryptid most of my life. My D black box. All good. But yeah, I wonder if, because we're talking about bigger stuff, we're talking about the whole story, we're looking at bigger developmental edits. I wonder if even you just want to do just the bullet points on the side to kind of show what your story is, because we even talked about stuff even in the earlier chapters, right? Of like, oh, it starts when Ren is being born. It covers this year of him growing up with the Grim Wardens. It covers this, covers that. There's so many time skips into this. I think my biggest critique still is I actually think this one book you're writing is multiple books if you want to keep all this content in here and not just let it be stuff that's gradually revealed. But I still think there's a lot of stuff happening in one chapter, in one arc, in one character, in one book that I'm like, this needs to be more purposely placed here. Apparently Metropolis is across the Delaware Bay from Gotham, New Jersey. Wait, what? In Boston, Mass. Oh. Are there any West Coast superheroes besides, like, the Runaways and Green Lantern? And, oh, fuck. Someone tell me. Okay, Batman is in the same universe as Constantine, and Constantine's in the same universe as Lucifer TV series. So technically on the West Coast you have Lucifer. You could debate if he's a superhero or not. But in the TV series, hey, he's helping the cops sometimes, so I guess you could there's an argument to be made. He's putting away criminals. He's helping out sometimes. You know, he's not running that nightclub. You know, he does some stuff. Marvel has a lot of West Coast characters, but a lot of them aren't super popular. As I said, that's why, like, a lot of stuff happens in, like, New York. So when I was younger, I always thought Gotham was actually New York. All the children stand chin deep in water, except for Bill Porter, who's a little bit shorter. What? Okay. Yeah, the best West Coast Marvel people were like the Runaways, but nobody cares about them anymore. Isn't there like a show about them now? You love the Keanu Reeves Constantine. That's the that's the only Constantine I've seen. Except for like the one in the Dreams TV show, they had a new Constantine for that. They had a woman Constantine actress. But as far as like, and I had no idea Dream and Constantine would have a crossover. That's how little I knew about it. I thought Constantine was its own thing. Until like I started like looking into it in the past like 2 years, then I realized like, what do you mean Constantine is in DC? I thought that was just its own standalone thing. I had no idea. I had no idea that he was part of all that. He was in that universe. I thought somebody just came up with a cool character named Constantine who fought demons in their cool demon original idea world. And I was like, bet. I love it. This is fantastic. I had no idea he was part of comics. I had no idea he was part of this whole franchise of other hero stuff. None. I watched Constantine with Keanu Reeves and I thought that was a standalone thing and I was like, this is great. Oh. He's bi. Sorry, I'm like, I don't think just saying he's bi even fully encompasses it. That man's that man's doing a lot. He's doing a lot. In a lot of ways, he's doing a lot. I say this as a bi cryptid. No one come at me for making bi jokes. It's me. I'm part of the community. I'm poking fun at him. He's going off in the Swamp Thing run. Yeah. Ant-Man's from the West Coast? Oh. Ching-ching. Star City's in the Pacific Northwest, so Green Arrow and that crew are West Coast. I can never get into the Green Arrow stuff. Every time I hear anything more about it, when I'm like, what's a little bit about Green Lantern? It's just something else fucking stupid and ridiculous. I'm like, what even is this? Arya's right. Anyway, so I think if you just want bigger developmental edits, I think you're at the point now where you've done enough. You can kind of see it here. You've done enough of the chapters, or you've done as if I've done shit. You've done enough of the work here. Like, I think it's time to maybe when you're finishing up, when you've done your first pass, then take everything you wrote, do that little bullet points on the side of everything that's here, and then we can like look through and see like, okay, what's necessary for the story? What do we want in the book? What chapters do we want to have? What characters do we want to say what? Then once we have everything, then you can kind of start playing around with it and doing those big developmental edits shuffle. Let me know Ant-Man all that well. When I was obsessively reading Marvel Comics, the Shang were lost in that terrible legal limbo. Oh. Hold on. There's my model. It was working. It was frozen for a second there. So I think that's where I'm gonna leave it at. I feel... Did I say Shang? I meant shit. Shang-Chi? What? I don't know anything you're saying. Okay. So that... Hopefully I said enough word. Hopefully I finished my thoughts. I genuinely do not know. Everyone in chat was distracting me. What? If there's anything in particular you want me to comment on, we can do that too. Otherwise... I'm glad we were actually able to finish the chapter. I would have felt bad since you waited so long. We had to do it in 2 parts. So I'm really glad I was able to read all of it. Control C. There we go, getting that ready. Let's see. Chapter 7 is one of the weakest chapters. And it happens, right? Especially in earlier drafts, nothing. Sometimes if you're really lucky, you'll do an entire first draft of your book and you're like, ooh, there's one singular thought that's pretty neat that I can keep for the next draft. Oh, man. She shells by the sea shang. Wait, no, it's by the sea shang. No! You hated it while writing it? Oh, no. If you don't know, Marvel did sort of a whoopsie with the legal status for a minute. It's a whole huge controversy. Oh my god. I think when you start going down the rabbit hole of controversies in comics, especially with Marvel, just Marvel's entity, then you'll be there for a while. You'll be there for a while. You'll be there for a fucking while. You'll be there for a hot minute or 2. You should get comfy and cozy. But yeah, so totally normal. Hi, baby. You playing with a toy? Yeah. I don't know if you guys could hear his meow. That's Baba. Do you want to meow for the microphone? Do you want to say hi to all your fans? Sorry, the model's glitching out because I was picking up a kitty. Chatty Maddie says, hi, kitty. Baba Bean, these are your fans. This is your audience. You want to say hi to anybody? Do you just want to stare at the microphone silently with your big eye? That's it? Okay. Yes, Superstar and Troopy, they all say hi. Okay, you go have fun. Have fun being a kitty with your toys. I love you. He did not want to say hi. He froze when the camera was on him. Let me talk to the cat directly. Meow. 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 Did you get all that, Baba? Okay. I don't know how to break this to you, Superstar. Superstar, I don't know how to break this to you. Yeah, he's not even looking. He didn't even flick any of his ears back to listen to your message. He's just a baby. He's not even 2 years old yet. Okay, he's still a little rude. He's still learning manners. I'm so sorry. He's still a baby. He has more important things to do. He's playing with his toys in the kitchen again. So yeah. Let's see. So, Chatty Man, let me see what you wrote here. This is the edited version of Chapter 2. I'm looking to see if this is better than the original, as I'm looking to start polishing this version soon. Essentially, is Barry coming off how I want her to? And is her relationship with her mother, Tessie, more explicitly a caring mother and daughter? Okay, so now we've shifted. Now they do have a good relationship. Also, you're hoping something else coming off is less info dumpy. All the stuff I'm looking for is grammar errors and stuff to line edit. Okay. I'm sorry, Superstar. Yeah, he has a spring toy. Baba loves his fucking... It's actually really funny when you have a lot of fucking cats, you start realizing how different, what a wide variety cats like things. Like, Baba and Ghost fucking love the spring toys. They love the little spring toys. They are the first cats I've ever had in my fucking life who actually like spring toys. Every other cat I've ever shown them to is like, the fuck is this garbage? Why are you giving me this? I don't give a shit about this. They want like the little crinkly like balls and stuff. They want the little jingle bell balls. They want like the dangly things on a stick to play around with. They want like every other toy except this. Baba and Ghost love the spring toys. All good. Someone apparently published a book called Meow, written from the perspective of a cat, and it's just filled with meow, 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 meow. Barry and her mom, and the interactions were altered to something more mother-daughter that are at least close. Okay, they're a closer mother and daughter. Got it. And then I know you said, is Barry coming off the way you want her to? What way do you want Barry to come off as? What's kind of the vibe here? Is she still a young adult, an equivalent early 20s? I know it's like crazy math here instead, but equivalent to early 20s, young adult. Do you want her to be capable? Is she supposed to be argumentative? Is she less childlike? Okay, that's the main trait you were going for, just less childlike. She's supposed to act a little bit more her age. Okay. Chapter 2. This is 9 pages. I'll see how my voice is doing. Let's see how far we can get. By a cat who learned how to write. That's cute. Excuse me. Chapter 2. Barry hugged the towel tight, the soft fabric pressing into her skin. Steam clung stubbornly as she washed her bloodied knuckles. Tile fragments littered the tub, smeared with blood. Cold water stung her knuckles. Some repeating words, but that's fine. The explosion echoed in her mind. Gripping the sink, Barry breathed shakily, her mind racing with a million ways she could have saved him. She wanted to scream at the ancestors, but screams wouldn't fix a ship ripped apart. Was it ripped apart or did it explode? Still, the question burned. Could she have done more? Her shoulders sagged. Perfection demanded she do everything right. I am noticing a lot of telling. It exploded, but yeah, okay. What's this? With the original Nutcracker story, if people are curious. Oh wow, that's neat. Perfection demanded she do everything right. Like, in the... I don't know if it's in the current version with this, but even just the... I remember in one of the drafts for the first chapter, it was just explicitly telling us, like, Barry's thinking, like, perfection demands attention. Perfection is love and all this different stuff. It's just telling us she's a perfectionist. Here it's doing the same thing. It's really bringing that to the forefront rather than maybe not telling that explicitly to the readers and just making her be a perfectionist rather than telling us she's always worried about perfection. She'd pulled the winged woman from the wreck. Her mother had helped carry her home. That should have been enough. Barry didn't do almost. For her, almost was failure. Her flawless record was shattered. Someone was dead. She grabbed her pendant, held it tight. She didn't really have a flawless record of not killing people. She's just like she's a smith. She didn't really have to have a record of not killing people. That's just assumed. She grabbed her pendant, held it tight. Her gaze met the mirror, cyan eyes staring back at her. The wavy chocolate hair was glued to her orange skin. How can I live up to Dad when I can't even save one person? Oh, it's relaxing here? So you're gonna go to bed? Have a good night, Callie. That's a good point, Satra. Writing someone with depression. You don't talk about how they're depressed. They just kind of don't find joy in the things the way everyone else does. Even things like, in one chapter, they could be thinking about how much they love, I don't know, playing basketball, going on a run with their dog, going in meetups and stuff, hanging out with their friends. And then later in the chapter, someone asks, hey, do you want to hang out with your friends and your dog and play basketball? And like she's like faking a smile. She doesn't want to do it. Her joints feel tired. Her everything's just no, and she wonders what the fuck is wrong with her. Does she hate her friends? Do her friends hate her? And it would be the spiraling of other things rather than just pointing out, oh yeah, I'm depressed, so now I don't want to hang out with my friends anymore, even though it's stuff I like. And the cat is considered a Japanese classic. Very cool. She fastened the pendant, the cool red crystal steadying her more than she expected. Solid, familiar. Her wet hair was twisted into a towel, knotted by habit. Barry stepped out. Baba! What? What? You do know that they can still hear you on the microphone, right? They can hear that you're yelling at me. This is a boost. Why are you being rude? Oh, now that I told you that, now you're being quiet, huh? You didn't know there was an audience. Mama's always the one who fucking yells at me. He just is so demanding. Yeah, you can cuddle if you want. He's not going to. Barry stepped out, slick stone giving way to warm wood beneath her feet. She liked things like that, small transitions her body marked without thought. Well, then she does think about it, though. Each step pressed her weight into the floor, leaving a trace of her in the world. Something measurable, calculable. Barry strode down the hall, pushed a panel on her bedroom door. The door hissed softly as it closed. Her room smelled of metal, varnish, and solder. Home. Smaller than her forge workspace, just as personal. One wall was swallowed by a metallic table cluttered with half-built devices and blinking scraps. The pendulum clock above it ticked with precise dignity. Her clothes lay scattered across the floor like half-finished thoughts, except for one pristine outfit, white, pressed, and waiting above her bed. Your cat Merlin's also screaming at you. You wonder there's some audio too that boosts cat sounds and adds reverb. Oh no. Just the most deepest sonic booms of meows. What you doing, Baba? Yeah, I love you. Bye. If you hear thuddering and skidding around, he's just running in the kitchen again. Let's see. Laying above her bed. 2 photographs stood out beside her bed. In the first, Bridget held Barry as if the rest of the world had ceased to exist, pressing a tender kiss to her cheek. In the second, a younger Barry was surrounded by the warmth of her mother and aunts. Barry pulled out her chair, its worn anti-grav circuits groaning, though she barely noticed. Her eyes had already fallen to the small object on the table. It didn't belong here, nestled beside her gauntlets and goggles like a forgotten truth. The data stick the dying man had given her. It had writing on it. 4 names, barely recognizable. Not universal tongue, too ancient. Not old Sylvan tongue either, too young. She leaned closer. One felt familiar, but she couldn't place why. Barry leaned back, arms hanging loose. Her eyes drifted up, tracking the lines in the ceiling wood grain like circuits. Then her gaze found the red shelf above the table instead, scanned each book, hoped one title might jog her mind. Then, a book title caught her eye. Classical Sylvan Tongue. Here I went, I need to go showing her analytical mind. Okay. Very tilted her head, furrowed her brow. She lifted the data stick to eye level, glancing back and forth from the book. Something clicked into place. She took another look at the words. One word leapt out like a forge fire. Mintaka. Which is her name. Barry knew her family was old, descended of House Mintaka. Was this data stick from House Mintaka, or... She read the other names again. So what? I'm not... What? I'm just curious, because I see a lot of times now, we've had it with some different characters, we've had it in numerous instances. What is the bit for why can't Barry just know things? Why does she always have to look at a book? That makes no sense why she has the book. Yet has never read the book, apparently, or known the book's knowledge. What's always this reliance on the books? Please, why can't Barry just know things? Her knowing things would be her having an analytical mind and making connections. Why is there always a book? Oh, that's what I was like, oh man, there's another book here. Fuck, okay. She read the other names again, couldn't quite understand them, but could take a guess on one. She'd seen this name countless times at the Crafters Academy, the great house that had founded them. Fornax. Like, see, this stuff, like, yeah, she knew her family name. Like, she would look at it and be like, huh, one of them looks like her family's name in old classical Sylvan tongue. One of the others, she could kind of looked familiar. She saw it at the Crafters Academy, one of the houses that had formed Fornax. Like, this stuff makes sense. She can read this. It looks like it's classical Sylvan tongue. Let's see. But she didn't know for sure this data stick was Fornax. Her eyes found her books again. Maybe one would help her. Barry's eyes ate in each title until there, one book she'd rarely opened. A tome she'd only ever read briefly every time. We still have this book! Volume 12, History and Legends of Sylvankind. So you didn't get rid of the book, you added in an extra fucking book. Chatty Matty, what's going on here? What are you doing to me? Why are there all these books? Especially when she knows this stuff. She knows it, so we didn't need the book. No, we still had the book. We still had the book. Okay. Purple leather, gold lettering, and dustless. Her fingers hesitated, then reached. She flipped through half the book quickly, then slowed. Something snagged her eye. It was a story she'd learned from Auntie Riri ages ago, a story passed down through every Mintaka generation, but never with this much specificity. There we go, I can say words. You didn't get rid of it, but I'm showing her ancestors now. Okay. This bit's gonna put a book in your book so you can read while you read. That's right, nerds. We're gonna... It's gonna be extra books. There's gonna be, if it's like an online book, there's gonna be like a downloadable link for you to actually download this book and read this book too. You guys are gonna have so many fucking books. Her fingers hesitated, then reached. Anyway, so... specificity. There we go. And then Barry saw the illustration. Queen Artemis stood immortalized, snow-white hair billowing like a solar shroud, a silver bow raised in defiance. Barry stared, her fingers twitching slightly against the page. Even here, she bore the unmistakable pudgy Mintaka nose. Flanking Queen Artemis stood 3 figures, 2 red-haired figures, and 1 blonde. One of emerald skin, the other of vibrant blue. Oh, okay, these other figures are, I guess, important, but that's a confusing description. And the other curious, more cowbell? The green-skinned warrior was clearly male, wearing a Chilton over trousers with a massive hammer gripped in his hand. Beside him stood the blue-skinned figure, evidently female, her cyan eyes blazing in golden pauldrons shielding her shoulders, her body draped elegantly in a peplos. Finally, the blonde... I don't know if I'm saying this clothing name's right, assuming. Finally, the blonde figure, pink-skinned, ocean blue eyes, draped in a peplos covered by a cuirass and pauldrons, a spear raised and ready. I'm not sure we really needed all that right now. Then Barry saw her, an angelic figure in flight alongside the four. The figure wore an elegant sleeveless purple gown with a translucent violet cape, peachy skin, white wings. Her silver hair was done in a loose braided ponytail. Barry's eyes briefly found the data stick again curiously. That angelic figure looked almost like... Then it cuts off. Was there any connection to the data stick? Yeah, what is the connection here? So she's curious about this data stick. She's curious about this name. She can't read the other two names. She randomly picks up volume 12 of Histories and Legends, History in Mythology, assuming this will help her with the data stick. I don't get the leap here. You're forcing leaps here to keep this book, but the leap doesn't work. The leap doesn't work. More cowbell. I had a random thought today. What if Harry Potter was reborn with his memories as Draco Malfoy's grandson? So you're thinking of fan fiction. That's a fan fiction. That's not a bad thing, but what you're thinking of is fan fiction. We review fan fiction on here too. But yeah, that's a fanfic idea. If that's what you want to write, go have fun. Go have fun. Full support if you want to write that fanfic. Goes all around. That is a very amazing thing, alright? Your head. Thing, alright? I wasn't saying it wasn't. Wait, what? I think sometimes with developmental edits, this even goes into what I was doing with, oh wait, let's see.
I guess more bad things have been done in the name of progress than any other. I myself have been guilty of this. When I was a teenager, I stole a car and drove it out into the desert and set it on fire. When the police showed up, I just shrugged and said, "Hey, progress." Boy, did I have a lot to learn.
Okay. What was I saying? It was what I was saying with what? I think at this point when we're doing developmental edits, it really helps to go back and write out the things on the side. Don't just rewrite the whole text. Write down on the side like a summary. Write bullet points. Summarize what is happening here and then look at your summary. See what things actually make sense. See what, when things are too all over the place, see what's a good starting scene. So like here, rather than right now in its current state, it's Barry is after coming out of the shower, Barry's curious about the data stick, makes some connections to some of the words on this old piece of data that she's not familiar with, this old piece of technology she's not familiar with. And then its current format is she starts going through different books, trying to form connections, but not really getting anywhere, I'm guessing, until Sunreal joins in. And then you can look at that synopsis and be like, oh yeah, the books don't really make sense. You could just edit, be like, oh, one of the developmental edits I need to do is she can just have some thoughts about it, like, oh, like I remember, I see my own family's name there on this old historic device. I even see like House Fornax, which is connected to the Crafters Academy, but I don't know what these other houses are. This is weird. And she thinks about asking Sunreal, the woman that they saved from the explosion. And as Barry thinks back on Sunreal, she even thinks like, oh, even in my history books, Like when we studied Artemis or whatever, like there were this angelic beings race, and then her thoughts are interrupted because Sunreal comes in. Yes, I fully agree. And it doesn't matter if you agree with me or not. You can disagree too. I was just wondering because it's been a trend. There's a lot of your pieces now that we've read where there is the use of the book to show lore. Even in the first earlier drafts of some of the stuff with Barry, right? They were pulling out like their version of the Bible in this universe between her and her love interest, and they were reading that together while they were walking through the town as a way to flirt. There was that book, there's this book, there's now a new book, which is the Classical Sylvan Tongue. We've read another piece of yours where someone was in the library and they were reading a book and they kept getting very, very excited for some reason about everything in the book. So I just noticed it's a trend. Like I feel like you always want to do this bit of releasing info by having them read a book, but I don't always think it's the right time. It's info that they could most of the time already know, or it's like a weird place for them to read, like walking in the street with your girlfriend, not girlfriend, reading the Bible that you've already read a bunch of times. For like some of the scenes just didn't quite make sense. You think your heart is just set in the book, but my head is like, get rid. I think again, before even committing to getting rid of it, write a synopsis, write down the skeleton of your book in its current format and look at it, and then in the skeleton do all the developmental changes you need to do, and then you can look back on the actual chapter, and now you have a form, you have all the notes on the side of what actual developmental edits you need to put in. To the library! Great quote by Sokka from Avatar The Last Airbender. And that way you're not, because I don't want you getting tired out or burnt out from just constantly reviewing the same chapters over and over and over again, and constantly doing new minor tweaks and then going tweaks on those tweaks and then rephrasing this. It burns you out, right? It's frustrating as a writer. There are multiple rounds of edits, but we want to be as logical with those rounds of edits as we can. That way we're not burning ourselves out. And sometimes it's even like you realized before, right? You needed some time in between my editorial report feedback and before you actually implement the edits. Sometimes you need time away from a piece before then you go back and look at it, and then you're like, oh. Like all the things I said with this, The Last Ballerinas, I couldn't have said that right after I first wrote it. I couldn't have said that, all these notes, a few weeks after I first wrote it, right? It's taken now. This was back in college. This is years ago now. And now I can look back and I can point things out that I just couldn't because it was my own piece and I was too close to it at the time. So taking the time, write out the skeleton, take some time, look at your skeleton, do some edits and feedback and critique with that. And now you have a list of stuff to implement into the actual text. Now you know what things to tackle. It's not just making the wheels like burning in your head and constantly doing all this busy work, and then I at the very least would feel frustrated if I kept doing busy work in my first couple of chapters over and over and over and over and over again, and then there was always still new things to do because I didn't address this other bigger task that needed to be fixed first before I did all this, right? It gets frustrating. Let's see, where were we? Is there any connection to the data stick? Like I said, there's no real connection. Barry's eyes drifted back to the illustration, scanning the canvas with a sharper, more deliberate focus. What cataclysmic battle was this? There, you can know history. High above, Exia's 7 suns bled their light, barely piercing a suffocating expanse of dark clouds. Reaching the gloom came an army of shadowy figures, their eyes burning with a malicious purple glow. Leading this vanguard of darkness was a silhouette Barry could barely decipher. A nightmare cloaked in a shifting midnight robes, its eyes shining with that same terrible purple light, slitted and alien like the gaze of a deep-sea beast. Barry's ears pricked up. Footsteps. She snapped her book shut, alert, her body tensed, instinct sharpening. She didn't know this rhythm. It was too soft to be Auntie Riri. She pretty much stomped. It was too heavy to be Auntie Feline, whose footsteps were next to silent. And it was too serene to be her mother, who often shuffled around. In fact, these footsteps were surprisingly normal. They stopped just beyond Barry's door, followed by a knock. Please forgive my intrusion. Are you available for a discussion? The voice was light, clear, delicately detached, as though it floated just above the wall. Barry jolted upright, towel slipping slightly from her damp hair. Yeah, I am. Just a moment, Barry said. Her eyes darted across the room. Tools and scraps scattered like metal confetti. A half-disassembled circuit board teetering on the edge of her nightstand. Her gaze fell on the white dress draped over her bed, sewing tools scattered across another table nearby. Barry could hear her mother's lecture. Like, see, this shows... I think you even said it, you said in the comments, I haven't seen it in the text yet, but you said in some comments before, like, she's supposed to be potentially ADHD. She's scattering out, she's flitting around through thoughts, she's going through different stuff. This is a great way of showing she's this engineering, smithing type personality, who has ADHD, who's leaving half-finished projects around, who's picking up and leaving, who's kind of leaving a disaster behind her. But it's not really showing the perfectionism. If you want the ADHD, this is a great thing to show the ADHD. I wish this has been shown when she first entered the room rather than the description of every other thing. This is a great thing. It's showing a description, but it's also showing her personality. For the ADHD, for the scatterbrainers, for leaving things half finished before moving on to something else, or leaving tools lying around. But for a perfectionist, it's not the best thing. So be intentional with what traits you want Barry to have. If it's the ADHD, this is a great way of showing it. The perfectionism, I always feel like we're getting a lot told that, and I think we did the first entire act, and I actually never got from her personality or her acting that she was a perfectionist. I think her being a little scatterbrained, a little leaving things half done, I think that's fine. Hello, hi Jack the Tiger, welcome on in. Barry could hear her mother's lecture. She reached for the dress. The garment settled over her chest, soft and familiar, shaping to her body with a fluid elegance. Again, we have the male gaze. A smile formed on her mouth. She drew her gold armbands up her biceps, feeling the cool metal press snugly against her skin. She fastened her gold belt. Her legs slid into the gold sandals, straps winding neatly around her calves. She flexed her toes, feeling the cool leather conform. Now you're currently reading the Stromline Archive. Oh, a lot of people like that, right? That's really popular. You really want Brandon Sanderson to put out the books from In-World as like legit tomes that we could read. Because they sound like they'd be interesting reads from the snippets you get from this book about the people that read them. Or in the men's cases, listen to, women read because most men are illiterate and Rochelle. You saw the story thingy, but I only have a pilot draft I would have offered, huh? Well, right now the queue is closed, but in a few days I'm hoping to reopen it again. And yeah, that's totally fine to submit a pilot draft. That would have been fine. If you want to go ahead and join the Discord, I can do a little exclamation mark Discord. There we go. Again, when the queue opens up, I'll leave a statement in the Discord. I'm planning it just for about a week or so. I want to get everyone done in about a week. And then we'll open up the queue again and people can submit their stuff to be read for critique. Need to fix the changing sequence a bit. All good. Then she went forward and pressed the door's unlock panel. The lock clicked. The hiss of the door echoed softly. The hall light spilled into the room. The woman she'd rescued only hours ago, still injured but very much alive. But up close, the world angel didn't even begin to cover it. Her silvery hair flowed like liquid moonlight, woven into a delicate braid that framed her heart-shaped face. Soft bangs brushed her glowing peach skin, while her silvery blue eyes shimmered, not with coldness but with depth. She was barefoot, and her long white robes kissed the floor as she moved, wide sleeves swaying gently. Large, downy wings curled around her shoulders like a shield. So some of the details here, because I think we've talked before about, like, sometimes it's just the making the descriptions of the clothing or how the characters look and feel natural, rather than just like a little mini lore dump for what they look like on a technical level. Here, like the wings curled around her shoulders like a shield, that's a description, but it also adds personality, and it's an observation that Barry's making. A lot of the other stuff here is just you, the author, putting in all the details you see as if this was a movie, rather than it conveying something about Sunreal. How does her having soft bangs that brush against her glowing peach skin either describe Sunreal as a person, as a being, or show Barry's personality and how she's describing it? Right, then like Barry might even notice something like, oh, Sunreal's tall, taller than her. She had to lift her head up to look at Sunreal, and she found herself blushing. Maybe Barry likes taller women, right? Because we know that Barry has a girlfriend. She likes the girlies, right? So her looking up, and that would show something about Barry. It would show that she likes some of the tall girlies, right? She likes represented. Yeah, that's explicitly stated, but it's not showing personality for Sunreal or Barry. But having Barry lift her head up to look at Sunreal and blush because of it, that at least shows something about Barry, right? She's got some feelings for it. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she dislikes looking up at people. She always felt like they're looking down at her, and she always has something to prove. So maybe she dislikes looking up at people. Maybe it makes her want to unconsciously feel like she needs to stand on her toes to look up at her more, or look better at her face to face. Like, whatever personality trait you want Barry or Sunreal to have should be conveyed somewhat in the descriptions chosen. Right now, it's just a lot of details that just go in one ear and out the other, because we're like, oh, okay, whatever. Barry can only stare in awe and disbelief. Even stuff like she has long white robes. I'm like, are these Barry's mom's robes? Are these Tessie's robes? Are these Sunreal's robes? Because they just got blown up. They just got attacked and blown up. Hey, welcome back. I'm in there when I saw the Who Wants to Be Read Tonight post. Oh, okay, yeah. Yes, the queue is currently closed just while I work through everybody in it in the next few days. So it's like Who Wants to Be Read, who's in the queue. But in a few more days, it should open up again, and then you're free to submit. Hi, Arya, welcome back. Barry could only stare in awe and disbelief. The angel tilted her head slightly and bowed, her movements fluid and graceful. Thank you for rescuing me. You have my eternal gratitude. Barry's heart thudded painfully in her chest. The air around them felt heavier, warmer. She blinked, struggling to speak. I'm just glad you're okay, she managed. Her eyes dropped, unable to hold that gaze for long. You needed help, and I was there. I wasn't going to let you die. Barry hesitated, shame curling up like smoke inside her. I'm sorry about your partner, though. I couldn't save him. The words felt like a blow as they escaped Barry. The woman stepped forward, placing a gentle hand on Barry's shoulder. Her touch was warm. There were no apologies necessary. Lunarium was aware of the dangers, as was I, the woman said softly. Barry repeated the name, tasting the sound on her tongue. Such a strange name. But even with the woman's reassurance, guilt gnawed at the edges of Barry's mind. The woman's thumb moved slowly along her shoulder in a comforting circle, and Barry's thoughts stilled for just a moment. Again, feels very... I know it's like girl and girl action, but sometimes I still feel like, oh, it still sometimes feels like it's for the male gaze sometimes. It is all right. Do not carry the weight of things you could not control, the woman said. Barry looked up into her eyes. They held forgiveness, but also... was that sorrow and regret? Then, a loud gurgle. Barry tried to remember the last time she ate. Good job, Barry. Forgot to eat today. Let's talk in the kitchen, Barry offered. It's still morning, right? So it's not forgot to eat today, it's forgot to eat breakfast. But also, I think the gurgling is a classic for the teen boys in like an anime. That seems still, I don't know, so it's like quite right for me. It could just be even that like the hunger suddenly pierced her stomach. She's like, oh, let's go talk in the kitchen. Do you need anything to eat? And then as they're walking, like Barry could even be grateful that she said the kitchen, because like her stomach starts grumbling, right? Like, but it just seems like a silly, awkward, funny haha moment that's attempted here, and it's just not landing. Barry brushed past her, every nerve alight. She led them down the hall, a soft clack of sandals on stone mingling with the faint creak of wooden beams above. The warm scent of home lingered in the air, cinnamon, cedar, and the faintest trace of her mother's favorite incense. They reached the kitchen, across from her mother's room, just as the faint evening breeze drifted in through the open window. Oh, evening! Okay, so it's later in the day, it's not breakfast time. Oh, this chapter was changed to the same day as the explosion. Got it. Barry hurried toward the red pot hovering above the stove's blue-red flame, her eyes locked on the stew, a rich blend of meat and vegetables, each swirl releasing warmth. You said warmth and warm a lot this couple pages. They reached the kitchen. Oh, where was I? She inhaled deeply. Her mum's stew, the same she prepared once a week. Her dad's favorite, her mum said. Her nose twitched at the aroma. Her stomach growled again, louder this time. She grabbed a nearby bowl, eager. Barry Nike Mentaka. The voice cracked through the kitchen like a lightning strike. Barry turned toward the all-too-familiar tone. Her eyes swept over her mum standing in the kitchen entryway, taking in the sight instantly. The stew and spice-stained apron, a single brow already arched in a flash of amusement and worry. Her gaze tracked the green-trimmed red dress hugging her mum's crimson curves, then shifted up to the wavy black hair framing her face and falling to her shoulders. Finally, Barry locked onto her emerald eyes, catching that unmistakable, rapid sparkle of affection mixed with exasperation. You know how you missed the roll call part of the channel? It's just in the main chatting section. It's just in chatting. Keeps it a little bit more nice and simple. Because it keeps it Should I have a separate roll call area? Does everyone think that would be easier if there's a separate place to do roll call? A separate tab? I still wish again that the description made a little bit more sense. This is still like a little bit of a lore dump here with the description. Shit, Barry murmured with a guilty smile. When was the last time you ate? Her mom asked dryly, stepping into the kitchen until she was just inches away. I'm still confused by the mum, but, let's see. Yesterday, Barry murmured. No matter how many times I tell you, her mum sighed. One of these days you'll die of starvation, you know that? Something about her mum's words sent a chill down Barry's spine. Again, I know it's supposed to be foreshadowing. We don't need to call it to attention that much. That can be get rid of. She didn't know why, and for the next few minutes, her mother started lecturing her about eating. Yet Barry stilled herself, like she had since she was a little girl. Mom, it's okay. I get it. I love you. I'm sorry, Barry said, giving her mom a quick hug. Her mom wrapped her arms around her. Sunny is just there this whole time. This is just awkward. I love you too, her mom said. Then she whispered in Barry's ear. Better keep your promise this time. What did she promise? That she gets it? That's not a promise. Barry's back straightened. Her mom's gaze flicked toward the woman. Okay, so now she remembered Sunreal. Are you okay? The woman's expression grew somber for a brief moment. Barry saw that same look in her own eyes in the mirror. I am alive. That is what matters, the woman said, her serene tone slightly more detached than it had been before. Thank you for tending to me. Yeah, foreshadowing is strong when the character isn't aware. That's what it is. Even sometimes readers, sometimes it's okay to have foreshadowing that readers do not pick up on. I know everyone's gonna fucking hate it, but I use this example a lot because a lot of people are familiar with the Harry Potter books. I know it's canceled now, but for explanation's sake, right? Technically, a lot of people missed it, but Ron has the strongest seer abilities. He does a lot of fucking foreshadowing in all of the books. Um, and you can read the books multiple times, like I did as a kid and a young adult and for many years, and you do not pick up on all the foreshadowing that Ron does. It's like a very niche, like someone on Tumblr pointed it out, and then everyone was looking through and combing through the book, picking up on all the fucking foreshadowing that happened. But Ron does a lot of foreshadowing for like a lot of crazy things in it. Yeah, it's smart writing when it keeps revealing new stuff. So I'll say, hey, as much as J.K. Rowling is problematic now, for foreshadowing, that is a good example of it, right? You can miss foreshadowing, and that's fine, because some readers will get it. It'll be caught in the reread, it'll be caught in the third read, the fourth read, the 15th read, it'll be caught in the 28th read after someone pointed out on Tumblr, and then you go back and you read it for the millionth time. That's okay, but don't make it too obvious. I say with the exception of children's books. Some younger children's book, we can be a little bit more on the nose sometimes with foreshadowing if we want a younger audience to pick up on it, especially fairy tale vibes, folklore vibes. Sometimes we do more intentionally show that, even a little bit heavy-handedly, because it's part of, it's a different genre. That's why you can bend it with that. But that's normally why. So someone's gonna be like, oh, but no, in this folklore they do really heavy-handed stuff. Yeah, it's because that's a different genre. That's why. Let's see. So, are you hungry? Barry offered. We've got plenty of food, and Mom's food is to die for. Her mom shot a brief, half-proud, half-humble look. Good job, Barry Mintaka. Good job. The woman's soft smile seemed to shimmer. I have no immediate need for sustenance, but thank you kindly. Barry nodded. That's okay. Pause. What's your name? I don't want to feel like I'm talking at you. My name? The woman tilted her head. She seemed to choose her words with careful precision. Call me Sunriel. Barry's lips curved into a grin. She liked unique names. So that's mentioned here, but she doesn't mention that when she first hears Lunarium, and she has to repeat that word. But for some reason here, when it's Sunreal, she likes unique names. So what are you? You kind of look like an Ilakari, but kind of not too, Barry said, curiosity flowing out before she could stop it. Sunreal's smile dimmed. A flicker of shadow passed behind her silvery blue eyes. It does not matter, Sunreal said distantly. But I am not Ilakari, I assure you. You don't mind my saying? You look like a Nabiel, Barry's mother said. Sunreal went pale. Yes, I suppose I do. Barry tilted her head. Wait, so the Nabiel are real? Sunreal's eyes found Barry, an almost horrified expression crossing her face. I did not say I was Nabiel. Something in Sunreal's tone. Hey, you're safe here. You know that, right? Barry asked. Sunreal turned, cocooning herself with her wings. Safety is an illusion. She began walking out the kitchen. I must leave. I thank you for your hospitality, but I cannot stay. First time I read Fight Club, I called the twist in chapter 1. I asked my teacher about it since it was a class-assigned read, and she was like, oh, don't ruin it for any of your classmates that haven't seen the movie. I hadn't seen the movie at that point, but she thought that I had. Oh yeah, if a kid guesses something smart, they must have cheated and already seen the movie or already heard it from their big older sibling or something, or their parents. Right? It's so hard for adults to genuinely think that kids can pick up on something when it's kind of hinted at in the beginning. But anyway, yeah, I don't like when adults treat it like that. But it is kind of like you picked it up right away. You're like, oh, the twist is that. This is the twist, right? This is the bit. And the teacher was like, shh, I wonder how many other kids in your class also called the twist. That your teacher just also didn't believe. I don't want to play that game. I took your advice and took out a lot of Sunny's lore dumping and made her more. I'm going to attempt to avoid this topic, while Barry and Tessie are like, you're not subtle. Let's see. Sunny was nearly at the door when Barry shouted, I can't let you leave. I promised Lunarium. That's weird. So did she? Is the other chapter rewritten to where she promised Lunarium something? Sunreal froze and turned. Barry swore she heard cussing for just a moment. She returned to the kitchen slowly, almost reluctantly. So no, I think it's described more as cursing. Barry swore she heard cursing for just a moment, or she heard Sunny cuss, but I don't know why, that seems just a little clunky to me. What did Lunarium make you promise? Sunreal asked. Well, it was more a demand as he was dying, Barry admitted. Okay, Barry. I suppose then that he asked you to protect me, Sunreal asked with surgical precision. He did, yeah, Barry said. Barry's mother crossed her arms. So, you'll take care of someone else but forget to feed the griffins, huh? Barry felt her brain short-circuit. Of course she'd forgotten to feed the griffins again. She rushed to the back window. Some of the griffins were clawing at the grass by the barn, others anxiously peeking out to look at the front yard, and Barry saw their feeders almost completely empty. Auntie Riri forgot again. Still, weird thing, like, woman, you saw your daughter almost get killed hours ago. Okay. Death was keep her safe. Remind me of my students. We were doing Hunger Games, and most of them had not seen it. And they wanted to ship Katniss and Peeta. And some started combining their names for ship names. And then a kid, bright smile, shouts out, oh, I know, penis! Though when everyone was silent, his smile turned to a frown and he realized what he just did. Yep. Yep. Yup. So Sunreal, Barry glanced back. Are you Nabiel? Sunreal glanced between Barry and her mom, slightly amused, though she hesitated for a moment. I guess I'm still a little confused at this overall scene, because I'm still like... It's a long, drawn-out conversation. It's this whole entire section, really, of just switching between pulling out the lore, which is better than a lore dump, yes, but it's just pulling out the lore. I don't understand why anyone cares about this. I don't understand why Barry cares about this. I don't understand why Sunreal's focused on acting like this is just another silly day and her daughter's Barry has brought this friend over and everything's silly and her friend might be this cool little son a thing, rather than like, holy shit, like there was something exploded in our front yard. My daughter almost died a few hours ago. Yeah, she just took a shower. Her knuckles are still bloody. She's come out. What happened? What is going on here? Like, it doesn't... It feels still like all the characters are just being forced through the motions of what you want the plot to happen, rather than this organically feeling like this is what characters would do. This is what people in this situation would do. So I do like that Sunny is a little bit more distant. Sunreal does feel more organic. Her some of the stuff is still a little odd. But overall, I'm still looking at Barry and Tessie, and I'm still like, what? It almost, you know, I think the best way to describe Barry, especially her mom Tessie too, you know how it's is it the Stratford Wise? What's it called? Beverly Hill what? What's the thing where it's like you go into a place, the topic, and like all of the moms are all identical blondes with identical like 1950s hairstyles, and they all have like identical but slightly different colored dresses, and they all have picture perfect lawns, and they all kind of talk the same way, and they're all overly friendly, but they feel really, really fake, and it's uncanny valley feeling. It seems creepy. You're like, why are they acting so sweet and nice, but also like I'm about to get murdered? It's the that thing. No, not that. That's a different effect. Streisand effect. Specifically talking about, is it Stratford Wives? Oh, this is gonna bug me now. Stepford Wives. Is that it? And then that one's more for like traditional wives, but that vibe that's happening here. If you see a lot of women that act like the trad wives or the Stepford wives, in a time when something weird has happened, like a spaceship has crash landed into your front yard, exploded, killing a man, almost killing your daughter, and now someone strange is in your kitchen hours later, and someone's still acting like that, you're like, this is weird, this is uncanny valley, what's going on here? Why are you talking about, oh, you forgot to feed the griffins this morning, you silly ADHD daughter, you, when like your daughter almost died like hours ago. She just watched somebody die in front of her. So you had the dual trauma of like, oh my god, you almost lost your kid. Your single child. That is your main only blood relation left. Because the aunt's aunt, the sisters of the mom, the aunts are the sister of the dad. And she's just still over here like in front of this stranger in her kitchen. I don't like when there's strangers in my home, especially when something like weird is going on. And she's just still acting like all totally normal and calm and relaxed and just going about her day. And I'm like, Tessie, weird stuff has happened. This is weird. It's just slightly off. I always kind of get the feel like that uncanny valley feeling with this scene. That's why I wanted them to be more organic. Sunreal is more organic. She's just crash landed. She's scared of revealing too much. She does know who she can trust. So it makes sense that she's pulling back a little bit here. That feels organic. But then her earlier bit... Let's see. Of wanting to talk doesn't quite make sense. Because she asks, like, oh, are you available for discussion? But she doesn't discuss anything. She just says, thank you. It's Barry and Tessie that are actually leading a discussion. Sunreal doesn't want to have a discussion. She just wants to say thank you and GTFO. So that's why I'm like, everything doesn't quite feel logical for them. Tessie is trying to cope. Even then showing that, like, maybe the mom looks frazzled. And she's like doing one thing, and then she's like, oh wait, I'm offering you food, but do you have any injuries? Do we need to take you to a doctor? Sunreal, stuff like that. That kind of thing. Even like, is anyone injured? Let's see. Let's see. Are you Serapesian? Your skin is quite an unusual shade for an Exian, if you are not. She deflected. Barry felt her heart spike. Her mom chuckled, mouthing, this one is not very subtle. She couldn't help but agree. That was practically a confession. So, you are, Barry said. Sunreal sighed. I don't understand why my species matters to this situation. Yeah, it hasn't really explained why it's important to the readers either. But a deep breath. Yes, I'm Nabil. She turned to Barry's mother. Forgive me, but you remind me of someone I knew so very long ago. Are you perhaps an Angoon? Barry's mother gave a gracious nod. Yes, I am. My name's Katesh, but most call me Tessie. Sorry for not introducing myself before now. You were hurt and needed help. So yeah, see, so Sunreal is hurt. So even there's not the franticness of, oh, do you want food? Should I get you to a doctor? Is there anyone else we can call? Is anyone gonna pick up this crash-landed spaceship in front of my farm? What's going on here? Tessie, Sunriel repeated softly. I shall remember that. Pause. Perhaps we can speak. You already are speaking. And Berenike. Barry said. Pardon? Sunriel asked. Just Barry. Everyone gets her name wrong, Barry's mom said. I partly blame her father. But she just got the name right. Why are they correcting when she got the name right? Hey, Barry frowned. Her mother guided Sunriel to the dinner table. You guys were saying all that while she was still standing. Oh my goodness. Barry ladled stew into her bowl and followed shortly after. She plopped into her usual floating seat, black, legless, and gently bobbing with every movement. She took her first bite, and her taste buds lit up. Soft root vegetables, tender meat, and spiced broth danced on her tongue. No one cooked like her mom. I must ask, Barry is Serapesian, correct? We said it twice now, and in the text, I don't think you've explained what Serapesian is at all, which is just, it's like biracial, right? It's mixed race. Correct? And if you are Ankun, then her father must be... He was Exian, Barry's mom said. I made notes of this in the original text too. I got through the entire first act, and I still had no idea what Exian was. Because sometimes it sounds like it's meant to be like from Exia, like it's like American, Canadian, like you're an Exian, you're from America, you're from Canada. But that's not necessarily a race thing, and sometimes they're using it as a race thing, which I think just means like certain types of elves, but also maybe it's not the elves, because it seems like some of the other races were elves. So is it I was so confused. I went through the entire first act, and I just kept highlighting every time Exian and some of the other races were used, and I didn't know what it meant. It's the overall race of people from Exia / anyone living on Exia, but it's so confusing. It's so confusing. In context, there's a lot of, for anyone just submitting, there's a lot of races that get used and mentioned, and where people are from, and they're giving context to the world, and some of the other ones we're giving context for, but the Exians, at least for the first entire act, were never explained. But we had the link of they are on Exia, so I was like, okay, maybe it's people from Exia, but then other people who are other races are also on Exia, so I was like, are they not Exians? Barry's mom glanced at the spot where an empty plate sat. Why are you putting it on an empty plate, woman? It's been years. Yes, he's with Fasana. Barry's fingers itched to touch her pendant, but she was too hungry and accidentally shoveled some stew into her collar. She embarrassedly cleaned herself, trying to pretend her brain hadn't just malfunctioned for a split second. My condolences, Tessie. Losing your husband must have been difficult, Samuel said distantly. Barry's mom sighed. I just wish I knew how he died, Barry's mom said. Perhaps Mother Anakia will unveil the answer in time, Sunriel said. Anakia? Was that another name for Skyria, the time goddess? Barry sipped from her bowl. What do you mean, Sunriel? Do you mean that we're introduced to a goddess, but we're also introduced to another name for that same goddess? This is the first time we've been introduced to her. We're hearing both versions of her. The ancestors do not always grant us easy answers. At times, mysteries will unfold at their own pace. That is not to say your pain is invalid. I fully empathize. Sunriel hesitated. I have lost many that were close to me as well. Yeah, one was like 2 hours ago. It just happened. Barry's mom nodded. It's alright. I've suffered a lot in my life too. More than Barry knows. She takes a deep breath. But my sister-in-law and her wife should be returning from work soon. Auntie Riri and Galeen are late, Barry teased. I apologize. Barry's mom turned back to Sunreal. Our household is chaotic. Only because Auntie Mimi stomps like a walking disaster. Barry smirked. She sounds like a kid again. Barry's mom went to object, but chuckled instead. I can't deny that. But I still owe her and your father my life. You guys are weirdly lore dumping on Sunreal now. Like, what? Sunreal doesn't know what to do with this. Sunreal just lost somebody. Sunreal just had her brother die. Now she's hearing about your perfectly healthy aunts just stomp it in late. Sunreal doesn't care. Why are you guys saying this to poor Sunny? She's still injured. She's injured. Hello, welcome on in. This is a writing critique group where people submit their stuff and we kind of go over it a bit. Normally it's just 1 or 2 critiques, but Chatty Maddie's actually pursuing publishing and has submitted with us a couple of times now. This is our second, third time even going over this, a different draft for this chapter. So we're doing a bit more in-depth. We're doing a lot more thorough going into everything for the characters here. We're really digging into the characters. So this seems like a more intense writing critique. I don't want to scare any newcomers away. Thinking that I tear it apart like this for everyone. Normally it's just 1 or 2 big things. It's normally pretty chill. I did not live to get dragged into family drama, right? The most, like, no, please leave me back at the explosion in the exploding spaceship, please. Anything but other family's drama. But hello. So we're actually pretty close to the end. 1, 2, 3, a little over 3 pages left. So I'm gonna try. So actually, I was noticing, like, oh, why is my voice so sore after last stream and some of the other streams recently? Sometimes my voices really need to recover. And I was realizing, oh, because sometimes when I did the Nihil game that we all did together from Mike Starro, and then other times when I did all the voices for Raccoon Channel 6 News, all the voices actually put a lot of strain on my voice, and then sometimes I lose my voice the next day. So after Nihil, I actually lost my voice a little bit there. It's come back now. But I do realize it's actually changing and doing all the funny voices that's hurting my throat, I guess. You submitted like twice, realized your stuff is shit, and haven't done any writing in a while. Well, one, I don't want you to think your writing is shit. That must be a horrible feeling, and I don't want you to feel like that way after submitting. And no, one, getting critique doesn't mean anything's bad. World famous authors who have star-studded, gold-plated books, you will still find people critiquing those works, because there is no such thing as perfection. There's just always getting better, because writing is more of an art than a science, and everything's subjective. Well, read my story and give me thy judgment once it is done. And also, fain read thy writings, for I'm most curious about unseen text. Very, very fun little old-timey speech there. Yes, right now, at this exact moment, the submission queue is closed. Because we have a couple people, I have a couple people I want to get through. They've been waiting for a little while. I'm giving myself the timeline, because it's not a whole lot. I'm giving myself to the end of this, about a week. I'm giving myself about a week to get through all the submissions, and then I'll be reopening the queue. And the only real rules for the submission queue are no generative AI stories, no generative AI stuff. And no spicy smut sex scenes. It can still be from a book, like if your book has topics that have sex scenes in it, I'll still read everything else except the actual sex scenes. And I just ask that you guys black that out, or you just give me parts of it with the sex scenes cut out. I just get too embarrassed reading the sex scenes out loud, right? No hate for writing all the spicy stuff. I read a lot of spicy stuff, right, in my own life and everyday stuff. I just don't like reading it out loud in front of an audience. I get too embarrassed. But those are generally the rules. Yeah, but it's currently closed. But yes, I'm guessing in a week, if you want to join that, and if you want to be notified for everything, it's in the Discord. I always give updates on the queue. You can actually even see the queue in the Discord. There's a story submissions tab on the Discord. You can see it. It's only a couple people. We're reading the second person right now from that queue, so it's actually 2 less than what you're currently seeing even. But yeah, in about a week the submissions will be open again, and then we'll get to read from more lovely, amazing, talented writers. Then see the same in the words that you say. Yep, it's very subjective. So he summarizes my stuff far better than I do. So before the queue closed, I feel mean now. It's all good. But yeah, don't leave it on the back burner for too long. You only get better with more tries. And yeah, you're nowhere near as bad as you're feeling. It's not shit. It's just that learning thing, right? We keep writing, we keep editing, we keep hearing feedback, and we keep applying that feedback, and we keep improving. I always got the most biggest improvements in my writing skill set from getting critique and sitting with it for a while and then trying a new piece and pushing my limits. What's the best I think I can do? Let me try even something more ambitious. Let's really try that. Like what, you know, back when I was like a younger teen writer and I only ever read YA fantasy and I only ever wrote YA fantasy stuff and all the characters sounded like YA protagonists. No matter if they were like a kid or an actual YA protagonist or an adult or grizzly old tavern dude or whoever it was, they all sounded like YA protagonists because I was reading a lot of that. And I got that critique. Hey, they all sound the same. They all sound like a teenager going on an epic fantasy trying to prove something to the world. And I was like, oh. So then how did I get better at writing dialogue? I pushed my limits. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write a short piece. I'm gonna write it as if it was an adult male. How does an adult man sound like? And I probably, because it's been too long, I don't have the piece anymore. I probably didn't do too good at it. Full stop, right? Because it's your first time doing it. And then I kept doing it. And then I said, okay, I want to write from the voice of a kid. What if I have like a little sibling character or a little kid in a story feature? Let me write in the voice of a little kid. Writing children's its own skill set. A lot of writers cannot do it. And then I wrote from male protagonists. I wrote female protagonists. I started writing a lot of things to expand it and get better. And I got feedback on those. And then I paid attention to how other writers I like write those demographics, write those type of characters. How do you write a stoic person, right? How do you write an angry person besides them just yelling all the time? How do you write someone who's very easily quick to anger? What kind of descriptions and details do you give for them when they're always, even in their own head, just always angry at stuff? How do you write someone who's faking it, who maybe seems very nice and friendly on the outside but is a raging asshole on the inside? How do you do that? And then you always take notes, and then you try again, and you fucking fail. And then you try again, and maybe if you're lucky, you get a little smidgen better. I was so embarrassed while you were reading that Vocaloid fanfic I made, because I was realizing that it sucked. But also, it's a fun fanfic. You think every other writer in here doesn't have a silly little just for fun fanfic that they wrote? And that could have been like the neatest and greatest thing that someone else in that fandom could have read. I always support fanfic writers over here. I love fanfic writers. They're such a huge part of fandom spaces and communities. And there's absolutely been things where I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? There's not a lot of stuff in this fandom. I like seeing this little silly little thing that obviously has a lot of references that maybe I don't fully get. They might be inside jokes to the author, but like, hey, I don't care. This is a fun little thing. Yeah, I leveled up a lot after joining here. Oh, Zatra, that's very nice. But also, yeah, I totally get sometimes embarrassment with presenting your stuff to a critique group. That's why I always say you guys are always so brave and amazing and wonderful for submitting your stuff. I always felt scared and embarrassed when I first started doing it, right? Oh my god, being in a college class, in a creative writing workshop in a college class, and looking around your first year at college and being like this cool college kid, and you fucking wrote something, and you're looking around all these other people who maybe are better college students than you are because you don't know what you're doing because it's your first year at being a college student, and you just have your shitty little story put together here for an assignment, and then you had to like share it with all these strangers that you will be spending the rest of the fucking semester with. Oh my god. You just had to hope, man, I hope I didn't fail this too bad. I hope no one else thinks I'm like stupid. Nice stuff that will never see the light of day. It's not well written compared to my other stuff. Oh, Archie's canonically 25. Wow. Yeah, to improve, one must try once more. For none are born Shakespeare at heart or core. Right, the line till Hamlet within us begins to shine. Yep. And even then, sometimes I always feel like Shakespeare wasn't like Shakespeare at the time. Shakespeare was popular in the way that like popular storytellers are, not as in highbrow storytellers are. He was writing highbrow jokes. He was also writing a lot of lowbrow jokes. He was writing a lot of like potty humor too. He was the popular writer at his time, but he wasn't like everyone was going over there like, oh my god, I'm so smart and intellectual and I study Shakespeare's plays. No, he was just a really fun, popular person who was coming out with a lot of stuff at the time. We don't even know all the stuff Shakespeare came out. Some of it has been lost to history, right? We do not know everything that Shakespeare wrote. He was churning out a lot of fucking stuff. Just look at all those fucking sonnets that we did recover, right? But so even Shakespeare wasn't the Shakespeare of his time period, right? That was other people. Just write what you like, get better at it. That's how it works. Let's see. I have a tendency when I share my work, like any work. Oh.
No writer is ever perfect. They learn more the more they write. Even the greats suck.
Absolutely true. A lot of the greats really suck, and you can't tell it yet because they had a whole team of editors at their publishing house to kind of tidy it up after them. I have a tendency when I share my work, like any work, to feel embarrassed about nitpicky kind of stuff that they didn't even notice until I was like, sorry, this right here wasn't right, and they're like, oh, huh, yeah, that wasn't a big deal. So let me to see if I understand it right. Like if someone points out something super nitpicky but incorrectly, they might point out something like, oh, you used the wrong character here. It was character B was here, and then you'll come back later like, no, intentionally it was actually that character. It was the character I said that you just didn't understand part of the plot here. They did come back. They did appear, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess that did make sense. Is it that kind of thing where like they just missed something? That's when you deploy Scrivener's irony. If the story was good, it was on purpose. If it was bad, you wrote it ironically, and it's not a measure of how good you are. I was in a metal band in high school and always felt my face go super red when the vocalist would be like, this next song was written by our bassist, Wolf. Is I noticed something, you the writer noticed something, and they, the critique person, didn't. It definitely also depends. Like here, sometimes critiques are limited, except for Chatty Matt. Right now, Chatty Matt, I'm pointing out a couple more things than I normally do. Because again, Chatty Matt submits a lot. They're at multiple drafts of their piece. They are pursuing like actual publishing for this. I want to take this seriously. I've already given them an editorial report off stream, right, for their Act 1. So we can view this a little bit more critically because that's the stage at where it's at. But I don't want anyone here to be like super worried, like, oh god, Cryptid's gonna tear apart my piece. No, normally here it's one or two things of critique, especially for newcomers. It's just one or two pieces of critique, just to be a nice intro to a critique circle, to a critique writing group. And sometimes, yeah, I might notice some stuff, but I'm like, okay, I just should point out the two bigger things. And if there's something like, hey, there's tense issues, there's a point of view shift, I don't think you started at the right scene, you might start too early or too late in the plot. And then something minor like, character C doesn't really need to be there. I'm not going to point out all those things for a newcomer. I might just do something like, hey, I don't think you started at the right place, and there's some point of view shifting going on here, right? I'll just point out two things, because that's a nice workable amount to deal with. Still a cryptical eye. So slow. Even more slow seeds grow. Yeah, no craft is born in a single day. That's definitely true. That's true. That's definitely true. So yeah, you gotta keep doing it. If it sparks joy for you, I mean, you can always pick up a hobby and then realize it's not for you, and then like be like, actually, never mind, and get rid of it because it doesn't spark joy anymore. Choo choo. That's totally valid. But like, you seem to love writing, Arya, and I'm really sorry if I it was never the intention to destroy a love of writing for you here. It was what it says on the tin. It's a critique group. I think sometimes people join here as like a show and tell writing group, like, oh, just share my story, but don't give critique or anything. I'm like, that's not what this is. This is to get feedback and critique from somebody taking it seriously. And I'm so sorry if maybe that wasn't what you needed at this point in your life. If maybe you did need just encouragement and excitement and cheerleading you on to continue down this fun thing that's writing, that's making up cool stories and cool characters and cool fanfics and all the other wonderful things we do. Maybe I should have just done more encouragement rather than the critique. Most of the work people have read over mine have been like lab reports, synthesis of biological data from meta-analysis research, that kind of stuff. Like realized, oh, I mentioned that Tinia mentioned this Tinia Saginata, and it should have been Tanya Asiatica. So you're very, very, very minute, detail-oriented for lab reports, for scientific research. That's really, really cool. You know, that's actually a specific type of editing for professional editors. There are actual scientific journal editors that are not like developmental line or copy editors, which I'm right becoming a developmental editor. I'm a little baby developmental editor. But there are specifically, it's a different professional capacity for scientific editors. I wonder if that would have to be something you know more about or you would be interested in. That'd be very neat. Barry finished her suit. I'm gonna close my eyes and then I'm gonna be able to read words properly, I swear. You're in the editing phase of my first novel? But since you finished it yesterday, I've been so very restless. Like, I should still be writing. I think what I've done is just write chapter 1 pilots, which is where I may offer one to look at later. That'll be very exciting. But no, it's totally normal, especially because sometimes you need space between when you finish a piece and when you edit it to get a little bit more mentally removed from it. Sometimes it is a good idea to like just put that piece down, start writing something new. If that's a pilot, if that's just spending a week or two on something new for a little while, if that's writing down ideas, if that's journaling, whatever it is. And then after a week or two, now you go back with a critical eye and you can do all the heavy editing. Because sometimes it does take that time of like going through and writing a synopsis, writing a summary of what happens in each scene, what happens in each chapter. Each scene's better, but sometimes just what happens each chapter. And then you have that skeleton, and then you can look at it and be like, oh yeah, I mentioned this character, and they're redundant, right? They never needed to be there. They're never brought up again. Or, it made it seem like this was going to be such an important part, but that detail could have been revealed closer to when that was actually important. Not to be confused with stew. Is it really a type of soup? Does he go swimming in the ocean? Stew soup. You guys remember Little Bear? You guys remember that episode of Little Bear where it was like duck soup? Hey, this is skeleton. This bones. But yes, that's always one of my biggest things. I was able to do some nice, wider things of looking at my older piece from college and do critiques here on the margins of it, because it's been fucking years since I've looked at this piece, right? I'm very removed from it. It was like reading it new all over again, and I can look at it more critically. Rather than if I had just finished it, then obviously at the time I couldn't do those edits, right? I just finished it. I just did like some basic spell checks and stuff, and I thought it was good to go. Sometimes it's hard to see that. So how did you and Dad meet? You've never really told me. Barry's mom rubbed her wrist as though she'd been shackled. Maybe another time, Barry. Again, this is foreshadowing because we know later on she's enslaved, so she actually had been shackled by some enemies, and the dad had freed her. So that's foreshadowing. Even though this is all still in front of Sunreal, I think it can just be an aspect of Barry's thoughts at some point to be like, like Barry's mom might mention something of, oh yeah, like Barry's dad isn't here anymore. He died years ago. And Barry's just silent, eating her stew while her mom explains that and even thinks like she never knew much about her dad. Her mom had never even talked about how her and her dad had met. She was silent on a lot of stuff. And it can just be this passing comment. But right now with the dialogue, I'm still wondering this entire time, why are they telling Sunreal this? Why is this happening? You start taking ideas from your old fanfics and turning them into your own original stuff. It's been kind of wonderful doing so. I'm so happy you're having fun with it. That sounds great. Barry noticed Sunreal briefly reach for her neck as if expecting a collar. Again, I sometimes wonder if this is very on the nose. Barry's noticing a lot of stuff very. Sometimes she just looks at somebody's eye color and she can tell if they look like they're sorrowful and full of regret. She can look at this and her mom touched her wrist as if she'd been shackled. Sunreal touched her neck as if expecting a collar. Very. Sometimes I feel like you're very purposefully showing the hands a little too earlier when things can be revealed later. Sunreal can just briefly touch her neck as if she was uncomfortable. Barry's mom can rub her wrist, and then when someone comes back and rereads it, oh, how did you and Dad meet? And then a second time reader would notice Barry's mom rubbing her wrists and be like, oh, it's the shackles. Sunreal, you're okay. Sunreal shook her head as though returning to the present. Yes, I'm fine. For some reason, Barry didn't fully believe her. Again, we don't need the for some reason. That's just filler. Barry didn't believe her. That's a stronger sentence. If I may ask, what was your father's name? Sunreal asked. And Barry and her mom exchanged looks. Orion Mintaka, Barry said. Again, I don't know why Sunreal cares about that. Sunreal recoiled at the name, not from fright but surprise. Mintaka? Yeah, my family comes from House Mintaka, Barry said. Sunreal glanced out the front window from her seat. I have not heard that name in quite some time. What do you mean? Do you know a Mintaka? Barry asked. Sunreal's eyes drifted back to Barry's. Not just one Mintaka. Somehow Sunreal's answer brought the illustration to Barry's mind. I know this might sound crazy, but do you know Queen Artemis? Barry asked. Did you know Queen Artemis? Barry asked. Her mom gasped. Barry, that's not even remotely possible. Queen Artemis lived over 200,000 years ago. What makes you think? But again, the mom wasn't surprised by her being oh my god, what? Nabiel. There, that's the word. The Nabiels are, I guess, supposed to believably be thought non-existent. Not just that they're extinct, but that they never existed. They're fake. So the fact here that the mom caught out, like, oh, are you this unicorn angel that doesn't exist? And Sunreal is, but oh my god, the unicorn angel knew someone from 200,000 years ago? I'm like, that's part where I'm like, our Tessie has to be more consistent in what she is aware of. Yeah, have you tried out Snipfic? What's that? It's like a platform for writers with, instead of videos, is 100-word stories. It's a good way to get your name out there. And also, you're doing great. I love your writing. Oh, this is Chatty Maddie's writing. Look at that, Chatty Maddie, you got a fan. Hey, thank you so much for the follow. And hey, I hope you like hanging out with the Cryptid Cult. Oh, the Nabiel real, but there's no way this one knows your ancestor. Tessie. Yeah, right. Tessie's just a little silly. She's a funny lady. Yeah, you got a fan, Chatty Maddie. Chatty Maddie also has their own streaming account. They also do streaming, and sometimes you can catch them writing and working on this piece too on stream. There you go. I'll do the plug-in for you. I'll do the plug for your fan. He's just a cool guy. But no, I have not tried out Snipfic, but just little 100-word stories. That seems a little. Oof. I mean, it'll probably do a really fun, cool writing exercise. I think I'm too wordy. Just 100 words. Do something cool. I'm too wordy. I know. It would Drive me crazy. I would start out doing 100 words and I'd end up like 3 chapters late and I'd be like, shit. 3 chapters later and I'd be like, I think this is more than 100 words. I have a slight feeling this is more than 100 words. Mom, Sunreal looks exactly like this one person in one of my books, Barry said. Sunreal sighed. I knew her, yes. And again, we're having that reveal of she knew Queen Artemis. But it's still a weird time to reveal, right? We don't know how important Queen Artemis is yet. It doesn't seem important to have this reveal and all this info about Sunny here. And we seem to be lagging a little bit. The chapter ends, from what I remember in the earlier draft, with that explosion, right? Like someone has died. We start this chapter with the confirmation of, oh yes, someone has died. Barry's alive but injured because her knuckles are broken. She's breaking the tile. They saved one person but not the other, who crash landed into their front yard. And now we're having pages now then just chatting and yapping and dissecting Sunreal for all this world building lore that the readers don't know yet. This could all be revealed over time when it becomes a bit more relevant. Let's do a series, but they will have like 100 stories in that series due to the 100-word limit. Oh my goodness, that sounds funny. I knew her, yes. What? Barry's mom looked like she was choking. Even Barry was caught off guard. Sunreal glanced between the two of them like she was witnessing 2 women losing their minds over an attractive person. That's a weird description. You two are acting quite strange, Sunreal said. Barry eagerly scooted her chair closer to Sunreal. So, does that mean you fought in the 1,000 Years' War? Sunreal's expression grew grim. That is certainly one way to phrase it. What do you mean? Barry asked. What do you know of the 1,000 Years' War? Sunreal asked. Barry thought for a moment. I know what happened like 200,000 years ago, and the entire galaxy fought it, she recalled. I know it was against the Wicked One, and that he nearly destroyed the galaxy. It all happened during the age of 12. Sunreal nodded. Correct, although your explanation is over simplistic. But yeah, I don't want you just going over this one chapter, because then something could happen in the first chapter that needed fixing. Then there's something could happen in the 5th chapter that needs fixing. Developmental edits are normally looking at the whole piece and dissecting everything you want to change, not just doing little fixes and band-aids and 1 or 2 little scenes. It's looking at everything. How do I fix this? How am I rearranging the plot? How am I rearranging chapters? How am I removing characters and what am I putting in their place instead? So I don't. That's why I was like, do you want to get the feedback on this now, which is what we're doing, but also understand the greater context. A developmental edit to be most effective. Look at not even just the critiques I'm saying here. Look at everything. Look at everything for the entire book. Mark everything up. And then just go in with a game plan, with some ideas on how you're going to fix it, how you're going to rearrange things, and then do that. That's because I don't want you being burned out from editing hell. Writing a book is its own challenge, and then editing that book and all the rounds of edits that happen is another challenge. It's its whole other thing. What do you mean? Barry asked. For some reason, she felt slightly offended. You described an entire war in 3 sentences, girl. You're fine. You're fine. There's no need to be offended. While you were correct in all your words, you made the war sound far more glorious than it was. Didn't make it sound glorious, Sunreal said, her wings tightening against her body. It was not simply a millennium-long war. To call it a war is generous. Barry's throat dried. Sorry, I didn't mean... I know you did not intend offense. But you cannot label the Thousand Years' War a war as much as you can a systemic extermination. I think she can just say genocide. Like, she can just say, oh, it wasn't just a war, it was a genocide. Because you can't label the Thousand Years' War a war is a little clunky. Sunnyvale's voice was hardly above a whisper. So all those battles were desperate bids for survival. The Wicked One is not an enemy one can just defeat in combat, Sunnyvale said. An alarm chimed. Tessie stood quickly. Excuse me. As Tessie turned toward the kitchen. So, did your people fight? Barry asked. Sunnyvale did not reply, only tensed. We cannot discuss this. You're close to having chapter 3 ready? That's exciting, Zakara. Sunnyvale stood and walked toward the door again. But the Wicked One was defeated, right? History says the Wicked One was killed by Queen Artemis, Princess Pyrrha, King Hephaestus, and Queen Athena. Barry's curiosity was only growing. You knew all the 4 leaders who bested the Wicked One. But you don't know some other basic stuff about the war. Again, sometimes her knowledge, I'm like, Barry, what do you and don't you know? I'm confused. Sunnyvale halted. The Wicked One cannot be killed. But then how was he defeated? Barry asked. While your guess is correct as to who defeated him, only one was among the trio who... Wait, was it a trio? Or was it 4? Did only 3 of these stay here? While your guess is correct as to who defeated him, only one was among the trio who ultimately claimed victory. Princess Pyra, Sunnyvale said. So who were the others? Barry's brow furrowed. Lady Iris Pleiades and Mother Iryu, Sunnyvale said. Barry knew those names, but only vaguely. So how'd they defeat the Wicked One then? I like this. So see, this is a good way of showing, like, hey, Barry's familiar with this, but she's not an expert in it. She's gonna know something she's not. But it's handled very quickly, very briefly, and to the point. Barry knew those names, but only vaguely. Oh, so how'd they defeat the Wicked One then? That's nice, and I like this. This feels natural. You must know that to kill an ancestor is impossible. They are forces of nature and concepts incarnate. To kill one, that would be to unravel a fundamental force of reality itself. The Wicked One is an ancestor. A corrupted ancestor, but an ancestor nonetheless. He cannot be killed. Sunnyvale turned. He was sealed. I cannot say more. Something about how Sunnyvale described the Wicked One. Barry's question came out before she could stop it. What's the Wicked One's name? If he's an ancestor, he definitely has one, right? Again, very cool lore, so this will be a great conversation, but later. It's a few hours after both Barry and Sunnyvale have almost died, and they barely know each other, and this lady's still in Barry's kitchen. And I'm guessing her brother's body is still in the front yard as barbecue because of the explosion. Like, there just seems to be more pressing things that they would be talking about, or more in a more organic way, things that the conversations would come up. Sunnyvale's lips parted then closed again. Her wings wrapped even tighter around her. I cannot tell you. Silence swelled. Sunnyvale approached the window. Barry had no doubt Sunnyvale was staring at the crater. So now, so maybe it was in maybe it was in the last chapter. So there's the crater now, but I don't know if there's still the ship. Sorry, Barry said. It is all right. Curiosity is not a flaw, but I cannot answer every question, Sunnyvale said. Barry walked over to the window and stood beside Sunnyvale. What was your ship made of? It looked like adamantine to me. Sunnyvale gave a faint smile. You are quite perceptive. I try, Barry said sheepishly. What if that was adamantine? How'd one of the wings melt off? That shouldn't be possible. This feels good. I like this. So is she staring at the crater, or is she staring at the ship in the crater? Like, her barbecued dead brother and the destroyed ship are still in the crater, and she's looking at where her dead brother is still hanging out. Or has AAA already come by and, like, moved everything, and she's just staring at an empty crater? That's what I was clarifying. Because if she's just looking at an empty crater, I'd be like, oh, okay, the ship and everything is moved. She's staring at the crater the ship made when it exploded. So this wasn't I thought a crater happened when the ship crash landed. And I'm saying a crater happened when the ship exploded. Is it different? I remember Barry being, like, right there in it. I remember there being a smaller explosion that killed Lunarium. But that, through luck, she was just far enough away, Barry was able to escape. But now you're saying it was an explosion so big, it destroyed the ship entirely, and it left a crater in their front yard with no evidence of the barbecued brother or the ship, but that Barry, who was on the ship, survived it. Because now wait, I'm not fully getting. I'm clarifying. Just clarify what. Because I remember I read an older draft. I read some older drafts here, so I might not have seen the updated things. Ship dug into the ground, creating the foundation, but the explosion made it deeper. Okay. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure how logically that works. I think it depends on how big the ship is too. If it's like a small ship that just had enough room for Sunreal and her brother, that could make sense. I hope I'm making sense. Maybe I'm just being a silly blue brain, and I'm not quite getting it. Maybe I'm picturing the ship being bigger than it is, and therefore me thinking, like, it's a crater. This thing has exploded. I'm like, how the fuck did Barry survive? I thought this was a smaller explosion at the front where Lunarium was, and Barry was just far enough away that she was able to survive. But if this was a big explosion on a big ship, and the ship is just gone now from the explosion, and from it leaving a crater. I'm like, that. I don't know how Barry's alive then. Because Lunarium ain't alive. Big fucking barbecue. Sunreal's hand caressed the window. Her lip trembled and her silvery blue eyes wandered. It was a structural failure. Sunreal deflected. Oh, so this is a deflection, then she's lying. Barry frowned. Look, I'm a crafter. I work with stuff like adamantine all the time. That wasn't a structural failure. That wing melted off. I can tell. Nothing short of a supernova can melt adamantine. So yeah, rather than deflected, I would just say she lied. I think just... yeah. Sunreal's fingers tensed. You are correct. I apologize. I do not mean to question your intelligence. But I cannot tell you more, Sunreal insisted. Sunreal, please. Lunarium asked me to look after you. I can't do that if I don't know what melted that wing. Barry, you're a random 28-year-old girl. You're not protecting stuff. Barry, Sunreal whispered. Barry is right, Barry's mom said, sitting on a chair near the door. She's the crafter in the family, and if she says something is wrong, I believe her. Tessie, Sunreal turned to Barry's mom. Can I take a guess? Barry's mom asked. Sunreal didn't object. I think you were attacked, Barry's mom said, as if stating the theory forming in Barry's head. Sunreal looked at the floor, no denial. Who attacked you? Barry asked. She stared back at the crater. If Sunreal and Lunarium had been attacked, whoever attacked them had to... Something clicked. Actually, never mind that, Barry said. Mom, we need to get Sunreal out of here. And where would we go? Athena City? Barry's mom asked. We have a homestead to run, Barry. I can't just... Do you know how long it took your father and me to make this homestead? I can't just... She's making it sound... So again, that's why I say sometimes there's a disconnect in how the characters interact with each other in the dialogue. There's like a missing step. Barry is saying, hey, we need to get this injured stranger, Sunreal, out of the house. We need to get her out of here. And Barry's mom is responding back with like this missing part of the conversation of being like, oh, we're abandoning our home, we're moving, we're going to Athena City and starting a new life over there. Do you know how long it took us to build a homestead and this livelihood, and we're making a new livelihood? Like, no, for technically what Barry said is like, hey, we need to take an hour or two and we need to get Sunreal out of Dodge. I think there's bad people nearby looking for her. Let's get her further away from here. Maybe take her to a doctor because she's injured. And for some reason, Barry's mom is responding back of like, oh my god, we're abandoning our livelihood. We'll never come back here. Do you know how long? Do you know how important this livelihood is to us? Like, sometimes there's a disconnect between what the characters say to each other. And sometimes that can be intentional. I don't want anyone hearing this saying that like, oh my god, wait, sometimes I do that on purpose. Yes, sometimes we can have characters that purposely do that. Sometimes we as the writers can purposely do that. But sometimes it happens a lot here and I don't think it's purposeful. Sometimes we just feel like, oh, I just missed a step here. There's a missing step in what happened. Barry's hand found her pendant, traced its ankh shape. Mom, I get it, but staying in Orion City might not be safe anymore. If I'm right, whoever attacked Sunreal could be in the city right now. And what about your job with Daedalus? You won't just abandon it, will you? Barry's mom faltered, holding her arms like a shield. Barry's eyes went wide, her hands flew to her mouth. Oh, ancestors, I completely forgot. I had to finish that harp. Her voice rose with panic. Everything had happened so suddenly since evening that the Harpe commission had slipped out of her mind. May I ask, Sunreal interjected, who this Daedalus is? So yeah, not bad that Sunreal is asking. But she's just heard, like, oh, whoever killed your brother 2 hours ago might be looking for you here. We have to go and run. And then Sunreal's over here like, oh, who's your boss? I'm like, Sunreal, why are you asking this? So, very straightforward. Like, very, very like, hey, something wrong is happening and you're in Uncanny Valley being like, oh, how's your job? What's it like? How are your coworkers like? I'm like, Sunreal, what are you asking here? Barry blinked, then answered flatly. Just an opportunistic jackass who likes to sell everything I make. Berenike Mentaka. Barry's mom snapped, voice cracked like thunder. Barry frowned. It's true. You didn't sell your gauntlets, Barry's mom pointed out. Barry couldn't even argue. There are Saturxi living on Exia again? Sunreal asked wide-eyed. But they didn't say what race he was. They just said, oh, he's this opportunistic jackass. And then, wait, is that racism? Say Trixie. Okay, say Trixie. But Barry and Tessie didn't say Daedalus was a Satrixie. It might be... Sunreal just heard, huh? An opportunistic jackass. That must be Satrixie. No other race are opportunistic jackasses except the satyr-themed ones. Sunny, I thought you were more progressive than that. There's Satrixie living on Exia again, Sunreal asked wide-eyed. Barry nodded slowly. Yeah, since I was a kid. Why? When last I walked on Exia, the Exians drove the Satrixie to the stars, squabbling over petty feuds. My friend Creus was among the last to stay. Sunreal paused, eyes distant. It is refreshing to see them return. Sunny being mildly racist. She hasn't seen them return, she's heard they're back. Barry opened her mouth to reply, but the front door burst open. The sound cracked through the room like lightning. Everyone jolted. Barry whipped toward the door, heart leaping, then paused. Auntie Riri stood in the doorway, breathless like she'd run 10 marathons. Her snowy hair hung wild around her shoulders. Her fiery sapphire eyes scanned the room with urgency. Her blue, pudgy nose flared. Auntie Riri! Frixia! Frixa! Barry and her mom shouted in unison. Auntie Riri's eyes landed on them, and Barry's heart sank. The look on her aunt's face said everything. Something was wrong. Laughing out positively, right? Yeah, sometimes the bit is we can poke fun at characters for what characters do. We're not going to make fun of writers, though. We're not going to make fun of what the writers do, but we can poke fun at characters. I poke fun at my characters all the time. Especially when I haven't named them yet. Oh my god, if I haven't named a character yet, if I can't figure out the name, their stand-in name just becomes an increasingly long list of swear words. They'll just be, Jackass number 2 with no name. This bitch, dumbass, like, horrible character. I'm gonna make you ugly until I figure out what your main name is. Why don't you have a name? Meh. I'm gonna set you on fire in the next chapter unless you tell me what your name is. The third. I just say horrible things to my characters. It's so funny. Yeah, we can make fun of characters. We can't make fun of ourselves. We're not for that here. We're not here for making fun of ourselves. But we can make fun of characters. Characters are not real. They do not exist. We can poke fun at them. So yeah, Sunny being low-key racist. Just a fun little oopsie. Let me go back over here. So yes, I tried to be a little bit more thorough here going through this chapter. I feel like some of the changes with Sunreal I do like more, but the overall plot of chapter 2 itself has to be rewritten to make the conversations they're having make more sense. Barry and Tessie feel more natural, but their conversations had to make sense. So the characters have improved a little bit, they solidified a bit more, but I want all these scenes and all these conversations to be purposeful and to be purposefully placed here because this is the best and most organic place for those conversations. Some of the conversations, like I said, they can be later. They don't even have to be conversations. They can just be stuff Barry knows that are briefly mentioned in a line or two, and then it's kept on. So being very intentional with what is in this scene. And I want to poke fun at myself. I feel like a bit of self-deprecation is good for me. Not in chat, per se, unless it's like super silly. Because again, we want to encourage things being nice over here. And then I myself, I'm never gonna say bad things about you guys. I'm never gonna be like, oh, so-and-so is being dumb because they wrote something this way, and that's obviously wrong. That will never happen. Do I do it to myself because I'm okay with my own jokes and I'm not gonna hurt my own feelings for it, right? When it's stuff on the internet and you guys are in chat, I can't tell if I'm hurting someone's feelings, and therefore I'll never do it to you guys. But I point out this multiple times. These are my editor notes on my work. Again, I will never have these comments on your guys' work because I treat your guys' work nicely. I'm not gonna be a fucking bully about it. That's nonsense. But to myself, here are some of my very nice professional edits. You're saying so mean already, you don't even know. Fuck, why are all the sentences so long? Why are they all multi-part? Why did past me just not ever shut up? Why did past me have to use commas and semicolons like my life depended on it? Fuck past me, she a stupid hoe. And then I continue another part. Fuck, the stupid hoe nonsense continues. Past me just can't make a goddamn short sentence. She even brought the M dashes into it now. Not one short sentence in the last 2 paragraphs. Bitch, what were you thinking? Did you forget what a period was? Were you trying to outrun them? What the fuck? Oh. Oh, you're so nice to yourself. Can you teach me the ways? What else did I put? Same thing, Paula and Charlie talking the same paragraph, and I think that's illegal. I hear the cops coming now. They're breaking down the door. Ah! Did you forget what a period was? Feels like a pun. I fucking wish I could forget what a period was. Endometriosis is a goddamn bitch. I mean, poke fun at myself is like, well, apparently I thought sentences could be replaced with run-ons by inserting commas and semicolons. Maybe I should have paid more attention in school. Yeah, silly things like that, but saying like mean things like, oh, sorry, I guess I was just an idiot that day. I'm like, oh, don't say that about yourself in chat. I can do it to myself here, but I'm never gonna do it to you guys, and I always want you guys to talk nicely about yourselves too. Don't follow my example. To follow my example. But yeah, talk nicely about you. But yeah, that's a fun little jokey joke. Well, man, that would be fine. Some people like in chat when I point something out will be like, "Oh, sorry. I guess I'm really dumb. I hope you don't think I'm an idiot now." And I'm like, "Why are you saying that about yourselves?" Oh, I feel like I'm at least walking the right direction at minimum. Yeah. I think the characters have improved. I think it makes more sense for the characterizations now. But I just really want to be purposeful with intention on what scenes are happening, what information are we getting, and why. And is that the best scene to get that information? Hey, question, I'm split. In writing, is it better to double space? Or is it better to do a single space? Do you mean between words? Do you mean like in between words? Like this. Let me see. Let me go down over here. Let me see, what do I do? If I do tab, let's see, better to. I feel like single space. But let me try double space. Oh my god, see, it even threw me off with my typing. It's throwing me off actually doing a. Oh, between paragraphs. Got it. That's why I wanted to clarify. So let me see. What did I do? So I started this. So that's... This, if I was to write right here, is technically single space. See, like this? And you see how it doesn't really break it off? You technically want to do double space between paragraphs. That is the way, I have to clarify, that is the way I was taught. That is the way I have learned it up through college and everything in my creative writing. So I will say that is to the best of my knowledge and abilities. That is correct. To do double space between paragraphs, and then also you do the little tab, you do the little indent. Now, could someone suddenly come up? Because if you talk a few generations back, it was actually normal to do single spaces. It was common to do double spaces between words rather than single spaces between words. So sometimes formatting can change. But to my current and best ability and knowledge, it is double spacing between paragraphs. See, that's what I was thinking when I see stories that are single space. Yeah, like even here, a lot of the stuff here is single space. It's a formatting issue unless we're at the formatting issue. Sometimes I'll point out formatting stuff, but normally only if it super needs it. There were sometimes writers will submit stuff and they just don't have any paragraphs, period. And then normally I'll leave a comment there because I'm dyslexic, so it gets really hard for me to be able to read it when it has no paragraphs. So I'll point something out and I'll be like, hey, this, just as a formatting thing, this needs paragraphs, right? You need to do paragraphs. Sometimes people do paragraphs but they don't indent, so I'd be like, oh hey, look at your indents, you got indents for paragraphs. Or sometimes people have, like what I even had here with my old college thing, 2 people talking in the same paragraph with dialogue, and I'm like, oh, every time there's a new person speaking, it should be another paragraph. Sometimes I'll point it out, but generally I'm more of a developmental editor. I'm not a copy editor. I don't know all the rules for copy editing, so I'll point it out sometimes, but I'm not too nitpicky about it unless it bothers me from physically reading the piece for critique. Yeah, the stages of editing is normally developmental editing, and that will be a couple rounds of that. Then you have line editing. Sometimes there's a second round of line edits, but sometimes people get it done with 1 round of line edits. It just depends. Depends on the how good and clear you are with your how close you were to the final product with your line edits. I would say how good and clear with you in your writing voice and your writing capabilities that you just needed the line edits to polish stuff up with. Sometimes it's just 1 or 2 rounds of edits for line edits, and then copy edits, and then proofreading. And copy edits is the grammar, the punctuation, the spelling, all that stuff. And then proofreading, sometimes people will do formatting in copy edits. Sometimes people leave that to a proofreader. The proofreader will do any final formatting and spacing and stuff for the pages. It depends. Question mark. Everything always changes within the publishing industry. They're always trying to make it more streamlined. They're trying to save more money on it. Indie versus traditional publishing is also different. You try to get as much as you can because you're paying for everything if you're independently published. So you try to get everything as many people doing the jobs of many while just being one person as you can when you're independently paying for everything. You double spacebar between sentences. I leave between paragraphs on double because it looks much cleaner. Oh my god, wait, so are you the one where paragraphs and sentences, it all looks the same? Let me see if I can do a example. So yours would be double spacebar between sentences. So if this was my sentence, this is my next sentence, this one, this is another sentence, this is a paragraph, and everything just looks like this. Is that you, Wolfman, where the paragraphs and sentences are the same, that they just formatted the same? I see some writers do that. It messes with my dyslexia so much. It becomes so hard to read. It's just the more spaced out version of having no spacing to my brain. They're both so hard to read. One just takes more space, one takes less space. But oh my god, they're so hard. As to how I want her as smart. I think, is she smart? Smart. I wouldn't say she's coming across as super intelligent. She's at least coming off as, I would say, a teenager. She's coming off as like a preteen teenager. And again, she's just doing whatever you need for the plot, going from scene to scene, or saying whatever you want to say, regardless of if it necessarily makes sense for her to do it at that point. I do like how, because she's an engineer, she's a crafter, I forget what the word is, she could call Sunny out and be like, no, it wasn't structural failure, I know what that is. I did like that made sense. That in that moment she seemed more capable and more intelligent of like calling somebody out like, no, that's not what it was, don't lie to me. But everything this earlier scene with the books just felt like, why do we have this books? Why does Barry not know anything? Why she had to look things up? Why is she making these leaps in logic? Sometimes you're giving her like logic, like, look, she figured this out, she connected these puzzle pieces, she's asking these questions, but it doesn't actually make any sense why she connected those puzzle pieces or why she asked that question. It's just because for plot reasons you need her to ask that question. So in that sense, she doesn't feel very smart. She just seems to be doing whatever the narration needs her to do. But she does sound at least a bit older. I would reading this and not having any context, I would assume personality-wise, she sounds like a teenager. And then her job, right, she sounds like an adult. I think smart would hinge on how well she can infer information beneath the things other people say. Anticipating other people's actions or thoughts can also be a good way to reflect intellect. Yeah. And some of that later on came out pretty good. Sometimes I even say that sometimes she knows things too well in an unrealistic way. Like when her mom touches her wrist, like they had shackles on them. Sunreal touches her neck as if she was expecting a collar around it. Things like that are that mix between Barry just inferring things she can't, versus like also foreshadowing, since it's in that murky area where things are trying to be attention. I'm like, no, we don't really need to. It's not coming across well. Some of it made more sense for the die when they were interacting, but when she's just alone and she's in that room beforehand, I'm like, I don't get why she's making these leaps in logic. She's just picking up things to have the scenes that you want her to have, like looking at the cool picture with Sunreal. Which, if you want a cool picture with Sunreal, I mean, you already have a scene later on in one of the drafts when she's looking at everything in the palace, when she goes to see the queen, to ask for help. There could be a tapestry that has Sunreal in the palace. If you want that scene. It's officially your birthday? That's super cool, Superstar. Happy birthday! Like I said, like when we look at things like, okay, what do I need? I want a cool scene of Barry looking at a historical thing and seeing that old-timey reflection of Sunreal, something that looks like Sunreal. When's the best time to have it? Is it here, right after someone's died? And she's about to go hang out with the survivor that she did save right before they're attacked. Because Auntie Riri's here now, but later on they're going to get attacked. Or is it when she's starting to finagle stuff, when she's still confused about Sunreal, when she's had some time, she's asking some questions, she's in this place full of historical statues that you want her to look at. Maybe there's this tapestry or something there that she's like, hey, wait a second. That is a Naviel. That is you. That does look like you. And Sunreal is just over there like, oh, fuck. I was so good at lying. And Barry's over there like, you were not good at lying. We really both thought you were a Naviel. It was weird why you were hiding it. And now there's this figure of this historical Naviel that looks just like you. There's this statue. There's this tapestry, whatever it is, that looks like you. And then Sunreal's just like, please be quiet. I can't answer stuff. And then Barry just has to make a quick choice decision to push it or not before they go meet the queen. Happy birthday! Yeah, happy birthday. I'm so happy for you to get to see that play later today, Superstar. I hope you have a really fun day with it. That sounds really fun. I hope you have a great time hanging out and getting to see the arts and being part of the theater. Yeah, that edited recently too, OMG. Yeah, see, so that's why, like, picking out scenes and then looking at it in the whole context of the book and then looking at stuff and be like, where's the best place for this? Or like, oh, Barry, I'll tell you more backstory, but I'm totally not the person in the story. Be careful with all the backstory. Be careful with the lore dumps. I remember so many lore dumps in some of the later chapters. I haven't read this edits obviously, but I'm just saying, like, hey, be careful. It's okay rather than people telling her everything and lore dumping the wars and everything that happened. If Barry just knows some stuff, like here, she gave a brief description of the 1,000-year war or whatever it is, right? She could know vaguely some stuff, and then she's learning some more about it. Like even books and stuff when we're like learning something about like World War II, right? We know generally what happened with World War II. We know some stuff. So the book's not gonna open up and be like, oh, here's a description, here's the lore dump of everything that happened with World War II. No, it's gonna open up and there might be a scene with like Nazis or something coming in to rip people out of like a hidden area, and we can infer, we're like, oh yeah, this is Nazi stuff going on, like we're good. And now we're gonna learn a detailed thing in the movie or the book or whatever about something specific that we might not have learned, that we're learning more details about in World War II. But we can have the gist. We can have like some clue. Story on TV retells was changed into a straight up flashback with Queen Artemis and her sister. Very cool. But what was I saying? But yeah, so sometimes I'm like, it's okay if Barry knows stuff. She is a person, she's a young adult, she's been through school, she's been through crafting school, she knows some stuff. Now, is she a history expert? Is she a historian? No. But if you asked her like some big thing, like, hey, remember some of the stuff from school? She'd be like, oh yeah. Remember some of the stuff from fairy tales and folk and myth? She'd be like, oh yeah, that was the crazy story of like the dark one, the nameless one. Fuck, I forgot his name already. The dark one, the wicked one. There we go. The wicked one. They're like, oh yeah, that's a crazy fairy tale. Like, yeah, he was like one of the ancestors, and like all the other, he turned like evil, and like none of the other ancestors could ever kill him, because you can't kill an aspect or something or force of reality. So like they had to like seal him away at some point in the universe, and they all laugh about it, because like, yeah, where the fuck would they seal him away with? Like, it's obviously a myth. And then the joke is like, hey, obviously it was real. That was a real war. It really happened. And she'd be over there like, oh shit, oopsie. As the end of she knows stuff, but she's going on what her aunt told her. Yeah. But yeah, planning specific things like, okay, I want this scene of Barry thinking back about her mom's cooking. That might be when she's already 2,000 light years away on her journey, and she's eating stuff on the ship, and she's thinking back, and she's like, oh, no one cooks like my mom. It's still soup, but it's not like the food my mom makes. And then later on, as she's ever in the land where her mom met her dad back when her mom was enslaved, maybe she tries the food there for some reason. She's like, wait, this tastes exactly like my mom's cooking, and it's because it's from the same region that her mom grew up in. They use the same spices, they use the same recipes. It's that culture's food. So now she's like, oh, this food tastes like my mom's food, and that could be a good, right, showing how that progresses. But being very intentional. Where, if a scene's important, where should that scene be? Mom 2 later on. So yeah, being what's another scene that happens here? Just being in general. Let's see. Like even said with the description of the room, right? We have the description later when Sunreal is knocking, and I said like, oh, that's a great description of the room, because it's a description of the room, but it also shows Barry's personality. All the half-finished, scattered, thrown everywhere stuff shows Barry's personality. But when she first enters the room, it's just listing everything that's in the room. It doesn't really show her personality. That's why I'm like, oh yeah, being intentional. What details are you going to give that show Barry's personality right from her going into the room? And in what way can you say that shows her personality? The second description did a better job of that than the first description. Stuff like that, just like little things. Being very intentional with that. Anyway, that was me rambling on. That was me yapping about things and just being repetitive, as people like to point out. Let's see. What else do I have over here? I just have some like more normal things like inside or instead of under. I was thinking of using some keywords like outside, dome, etc. too much. So I was pointing out repetition of words. If you guys, sometimes I point it out for you guys a lot when words are repeated. Don't worry, I put out the same shit in my work too. Like, hey, you used this phrase too often in these few pages, and I'm like, oh fuck. I think she's still stuck on what happened, and she wouldn't be very observant on her room at first. Oh, thank you for the posture check. I know we were thinking of Raccoon Channel 6 News, but honestly, I'm here, I'm checking in with myself a bit, and I'm like, honestly, my voice is kind of going. I was saying before, like, I actually lost my voice for parts of yesterday after reading Nihil, that game, the visual novel from Mike Starro that we all did together. And now after 2 stories, and they were both, like, longer segments, we did the full chapters for both. I'm over here and I'm like, oh, my voice is probably going to be gone later tonight. So I think, even though I want to do Raccoon Channel 6 News, I don't think I can. I know, I'm so sorry, but even now I'm trying to like be more expressive, and I'm actually realizing my voice isn't hitting certain notes. So even if you asked me to do like Archie's voice or Arya's voice, I don't think I physically could. And I obviously want to read it well, right? I have a lot of fun with it. I want to do the voices for that. It's so fun. It's so engaging. I feel bad now. It's just realizing like, oh, I did a lot of the voices with Nihil, and I didn't realize this until now, right? I'm like, oh, why is my voice sore sometimes after stream, and sometimes it's fine. And I think it's the voices. It's doing a lot of the cool voices for stuff that seems to put the strain on my vocal cords. And I did a lot of silly little voices for Nihil, right? But yeah, I'm kind of feeling my throat tense up a little bit. So I think I'm gonna call it here and let my vocal cords rest a bit. And then next stream, if you want to make up for it, we can start next stream with Raccoon Channel 6 News and then get into the story queue. With the store and a dojo, he passed out drunk in the liquor store bathroom. Yeah. He's a famous raccoon. He made it all over the news. Good night. But yeah, thank you everybody. I hope this was a fun stream. Everyone who's new here, we stream every other day. So you won't see me tomorrow, you'll see me the day after. If you ever need updates or you're like, hey, wait a second, is Cryptid streaming tonight or not? You can be part of the Discord. I always give updates on if I'm sick or if you have to reschedule anything. And then also if you're in the story queue, I'll do roll call and I'll choose people from the queue to read that day. What was I saying? So yeah, you can be part of the queue. I'll get your story read. We'll give critique. It'll be really fun. Sometimes I do voices. Voices are closing up. Oh my goodness. We also have Baby Raccoon over here to read all your text-to-speech stuff. And he has his little pride flag for this month. He's super cute. I want to give him something else. What should he have after the pride flag? Someone give me any suggestions in the Discord. What other stuff do you want Baby Raccoon to hold? Let me know. Let me know in the suggestions part of Discord. But otherwise, I will see you guys next time, and goodbye!